Hey guys, so we are back again with another reading. This one is going to be what are their secret desires for you? So, kind of a little bit of like late night thoughts, but more just like overall, what are their deep desires when it comes to you? And we're going to just see what spirit brings to mind for that. So, I know some of you were saying that you love the fake food, which I love to hear. I am getting another shipment of those in today. So, the next reading will be back to some fake food, but for today we are going with the crystals, and so we are starting with this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So yeah, just tune into the energy. I always say hopefully one is calling right out to you, and if one is, go right to that one. And if you need to spend a few more seconds meditating on everything, definitely take that. You could, pause the video if you don't want to hear me talking over it. But just, sometimes close your eyes and see what color comes to mind. If it's green, white, purple, or red, you'll know which pile to go to. Or I sometimes will close my eyes and open them and see which one my eyes immediately go to. So with all that being said, I will be quiet now and just let you tune in. Okay, so hopefully you had time to decide. If not, feel free to rewind and pause and spend a little more time with each of them. And if you're still here, I always tell people if you would like to request a certain type of reading, please leave it in the comments. I often draw from the comments in terms of choosing my new reading. So if there's something you want to know about, let me know and you might find it on the next reading. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked this beautiful green and purple fluorite crystal, this is going to be your reading. Fluorite is an amazing stone that kind of cleanses negative energy and gives a lot of mental clarity. So it really helps us to kind of see situations clearly, and hopefully for that reason you guys are going to have an extra clear reading. I'm actually going to hold it on me just to have that clarity energy. So let's shuffle the cards and see what your person's secret desires are. What is pile 1's person's secret desires? What is pile 1's person's secret desires? What is pile 1's person's secret desires? So we got so far the 10 of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. We got the 7 of Wands and Justice. What else? What are pile 1's person's secret desires? One card at a time, Spirit. One card at a time. What are pile 1's person's secret desires? Oh my god, I'm kind of laughing because, oh god, yeah, I'm this is not what I thought the reading was gonna go, but I don't know. I have to be honest about what I'm getting. I feel like your person is really vengeful. And they kind of want revenge on you, but not in a way of like that they hate you. It's more like, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's like they have this fantasy of you like crawling back to them, you know what I mean? And being like, oh, I'm so desperate for you. I need you. Oh, you're the best person. I made a mistake. That kind of energy. Like, I feel like it's almost like, you'll hear those stories of someone and they're like, how did you get motivated to become a famous actor or a famous musician or a famous like businessman or something? And they'll be like, well, there was a girl who rejected me in the 10th grade and I wanted to show her like what what I could do. And you're like, how do you even care about someone that long? You know what I mean? like, wouldn't you be over someone rejecting you in the 10th grade kind of vibe? But that's like what I'm getting. Like, this person wants to make their life amazing so that you will be like so desperate for them and like come back and be and see them forever, see them as like this amazing person, you know, see them as being so accomplished, see them as being like this star kind of person, you know what I mean? Like they I think it's like, I'm getting this quote in mind that I think Lady Gaga said, where she said something about her ex-boyfriend, like, I'm gonna make it so that you can't go to a freaking bodega in like New York or a convenience store or a grocery store without seeing my face on magazines and TV shows and like playing on the TV in the background and my music playing and stuff. And that was, or like on a billboard outside the shop, like everywhere you go you'll have to think of me. And that's like this person's fantasy with you is you like always having to think of them, always being surrounded by their success. But it's almost like I feel like in their fantasy, like they want you to come to them, you know what I mean? They want you to be like, oh my god, I made a huge mistake, I need to be with this person. It's not like they want to like, I'll show them because I hate them. It's like they want to bring you to them kind of an energy. So let me shuffle it again and get more cards. But yeah, this person is really pursuing success, really pursuing money and just success in whatever realm, whatever they're working on, whether it's, you know, trying to be a musician or an actor or an artist or just a businessman or succeed in their career. They dream of having some kind of like public presence where you would see them, and I feel like they want you to like, I'm getting like regret your choices. So I don't know if you like walked away from them or you just never really, they feel rejected. So whether you might feel like I didn't reject them, you know, sometimes people can feel rejected and it's like, you didn't even make your move, you didn't even shoot your shot, like you didn't even give me a chance to reject you. So how am I supposed to have given you this horrible heartache rejection? But in their mind, you rejected them somehow. Whether they might have been too shy to even ask you out or make their move, but they feel rejected by you somehow. You know what I mean? It's love is not rational, so it didn't. Sometimes you might have been in a relationship with this person, but for many of you, it might have just been that this person had like a really big crush on you and you guys just didn't get together. But yeah, this person is wanting to reach the top, wanting to get to the point where it's like, you know, they're at the top of the heap. And in their ideal fantasy, this is kind of like not, wouldn't be romantic to me necessarily, like if someone was telling me this, but I think that they're motivated by romance, but it's like they want you to be like at the bottom of the heap. They want you to be like penniless, to be honest, and then you to come to them and be like, oh my god, please help me. And then I feel like in that moment, then they can be like, you know, I don't know, it's kind of shady. I don't even know. Like, it is a kind of a sketchy thing that they want, a sketchy situation, but then they can be like, hey, I'll help you, but you got to go on a date with me or something like that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Which is obviously pretty like unscrupulous and not very honest. So it's like this fantasy is not very PC, I don't think. Like, this is kind of exploitative. But this is what they're imagining. This is what they're dreaming about. Yeah. They're really focused on getting money, and that's kind of what they're imagining is like reaching a point where you will just be, I feel like they want you to be blown away by their success. They perceive you as having rejected them in some way, and like you intimidate them a little bit. They're kind of, they kind of see you as like tough, I guess, in some way, or like, almost like judgmental a little bit, or like kind of fiery and kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but like, they see you as someone who wouldn't, you're not like the energy of like, oh, it's okay that you're so sad and pathetic. Some people fall for that. I'm a Pisces and I kind of fall for that. Like when someone's acting real pathetic around me, I'll like that, that kind of sucks me in a way. But you guys, they don't see that. They see you as, in order to come to be with you, they have to be at the top of their game. Like you're not the type in their mind who would go for someone who's kind of a loser. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit like they resent you for that. Like in their perfect world, I feel like you would accept them. They could just be like a bump on a log doing nothing, and they just want to be with you, But then they're like, okay, that's not going to work, or it didn't work. So now I'm going to step up my game and I'm going to show her. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're like that teacher in school who's like, you know how in those like inspirational movies, there's always like the one teacher who's like, you know what, you're not doing a good job actually, and you could do a lot better, and I'm not going to pass you in this class unless you do XYZ. That's kind of like how they see you in their life. Like you came in and kind of made them realize that they need to step up their game. And now they are like working really hard. They're just obsessed with that. They're just obsessed with that point. I almost feel like they imagine having, I feel like they also in a way might be imagining, so they're also imagining a family and some kind of situation where they have like a very public family, like those Instagram families that have like the photos of like their kids dressing up to go see Santa, and it's all very perfect looking, like photo shoots and stuff, and like then posing together on Easter, and everyone's in like matching pastels, and then like photos from like Friday pizza night and everyone's in matching pajamas, that kind of vibe. That's what they want. They really want like a public family. They want everyone to see them with their family. And I'm not sure whether they want you in that scenario or they want someone else and you watching and you being jealous. I kind of feel like for many of them, they want to make you jealous. But it's weird because it's so bizarre. People can marry someone else to make someone jealous. Like, it makes no logical sense. I could never do that because to me, like, I've also worked in family law, and it's like, divorce is so horrible. I could never marry someone unless I was sure. But so many people rush into marriages or get married for stupid reasons, or they have like the one that got away, but they're too afraid to go after them, so they settle for someone else. And so even though it's not rational, I feel like people can marry someone else while still being in love with another person. And it's almost like this person is dreaming of getting with someone else, but it's to get to you. You know what I mean? And they dream of that moment when you would like look at the Instagram and be like, oh my God, she's really pretty. Oh wow, he has a beautiful house, or she has a beautiful house. Like, I wish that could have been me. Like, that's what they imagine, is that creating a life where you're looking at it and you are envious of what they have going on. So I feel like these are the scenarios that they enact in their mind of like you looking at their Instagram. Like when I thought these fantasies were gonna be like X-rated, but I feel like this is what they fantasize about, is you looking at them and you being like, wow, it could have been me, and you browsing Instagram. It's not exactly like hot and heavy stuff. It's just they want to see like jealousy from you. I feel like they see you as a very passionate person, but they feel like they could never really get you passionate the way they want to see you, like kind of like hot and bothered. Like they see you as just a passionate type of energy. Like when you like something, you really like it. When you don't like it, you don't like it. You're not one of those people who's like, whatever. Like, yeah, it's okay. Like they see you as being just passionate about life and just very, like decisive kind of. And so it's like they want to evoke that energy. They want to see that side of you directed towards them, not directed towards like, oh my God, I love this band, they're so good, or whatever. They want to see you feeling that way towards whatever they have going on, and they're willing to do a lot of it. In a way, they feel wronged. They feel like you have karma coming towards you, which, you know, may or may not be true. I mean, this is a general reading. So, you know, a lot of times when people have been wronged in love, they can be really immature about it and maybe think like, oh, that person has karma coming towards them, whether it's true or not. Like, to have karma, a lot of times you have to really hurt someone or be having evil intentions towards them. So if you had evil intentions towards them, then yeah, you'll definitely get karma. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, sometimes someone can get their feelings hurt and they're automatically like, you did me wrong. And it's like, well, not quite. You know, I'm not getting a vibe that you actually hurt them or did anything evil. I'm really not at all. I'm getting a vibe that their ego was just wounded. Like, I feel like they have ego issues that maybe they could work through. And so instead of them being like, you know what, I kind of messed up here and maybe I should have approached it this way, or, you know, for some of them, I feel like this person didn't even shoot their shot, didn't even end up asking you out, didn't even put themselves out there. They just are somehow blaming you of like, I can't believe they never got with me. I can't believe that. And it's like, well, how are they supposed to get with you when you don't even ask them out? Like, what? But this person has taken it, I feel like it's easier for them ego-wise to blame you and act like you did something horribly mean to them than it is to accept responsibility for their part. So that's, you know, what they're doing. That's kind of how they're approaching it. But I'm not getting the vibe that you actually did anything. I feel like you just kind of were like minding your business in a way. Like, this person just almost like imprinted on you. You know, like how in Twilight they have that thing with the wolves where they will randomly imprint and then it's like forever. Like, you'll like I think that happened to like the baby, which is so bizarre. But anyway, like, so it's, yeah, pretty weird. But so you're just like walking along and someone just imprints on you, I guess, could happen, and they're in love forever. And that's like what happened. I feel like you were just minding your business and this person just like decided that you guys were supposed to be together. And I don't know, for some of you, I feel like there was no communication, but maybe this person was flirty and you got the vibe. But I don't think they, like, I don't know if they stepped forward, you know? I feel like this person tried. They did, in their mind, they tried to, like, they would say, like, yeah, I did approach this person. Like, it's kind of like, have you ever, like, or maybe you've had a conversation like this with someone. I've had conversations like this where you're like, did you apply for that job or something? And someone's like, well, yeah, I did. And you're like, and they rejected you? And you're like, they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh, well, how did you apply? And you're like, and they're like, well, I called the phone number once and no one picked up. So so it didn't work out. And you're like, that's not applying. Like, did you send your resume in? Did you follow up? Did you call? Did you call again? Did you, email them? Did you do XYZ? Did you visit them in person? Did you do any of that? Like, and the person's like, no, but I mean, I tried calling the one time and no one answered. So I applied, but they just rejected me. And it's like, no, you didn't really apply. But in that person's mind, they would be like, no, I applied. I did it. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here for a lot of you, where this person feels like they shot their shot and got rejected. But I don't know if that's the reality. I feel like this person is very sensitive to rejection and perceives it as happening very easily. And so it's like they might have flirted with you or been just even like just staring at you and you caught them a bunch of times. Like, you just got the vibe of like, I think they're into me, but I feel like many of them were just afraid because this person does have a big ego. They're very afraid. They're very sensitive to rejection and any kind of like feeling of lack of self-worth. So I feel like they might have just, been looking at you, that kind of a thing. And you're like, I think they like me, but they never stepped forward and actually, made themselves vulnerable and actually approached you. But in their mind, they did. So they're perceiving it as you harshly like shot them down, whether that's the case or not, which I feel like for a lot of you, it's not the case. I just think this person is very sensitive. And now they perceive it as like you did them wrong and you have karma and justice needs to be done and it's, you know, your time to pay and you deserve to suffer. Like it's kind of that vibe. Like they want you to like see them at their wedding and be jealous and be like, oh my God, it could have been me. I should have been in that white dress or that tuxedo. Like that's how they want. They want you to like look at their, I feel like they want to get married to someone and it's literally just so they can post photos on Instagram or Facebook and have you cry. Like they, in their dream, you'd be like crying at home with like a bottle of wine and a pizza and just like, oh God, it should have been me. And that's what they're working towards. I've seen that with celebrities where like they'll get married to someone and you're like, dude, you were with this other person like less than 6 months ago and seemed pretty into them, so, and now you're marrying someone else and there's like no sparks and you're trying to get back, you're totally trying to get back at your ex, and it's so stupid. It's hard to even imagine how stupid it is to marry someone that you're not actually in love with, but it happens all the time. And I think that's what this person is wanting, is like to set it up with someone else so you'll finally notice them. Like, dude, there's easier ways to go about that. You could just, you know, you could just text the person, but they don't want to do that. They have this little revenge fantasy. So we got feather. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. Again, I feel like there's a lot of negative talk this person is doing about you. It's kind of like they're being like a hater, to be honest. Like the way they talk about you is like a hater. Like they're like looking for a flaw. But it's like they don't actually mean it. It's like, you know, how people will say like about you know, a girl, they'll be like, you're so beautiful, you go on a date with me, and then the girl rejects them and suddenly it's like, you're not that cute anyway, you look really bad, I just asked you out for a joke or something. And it's like, okay, but like 5 minutes ago you were in love and you were asking to, you know, go on a steak dinner, so let's be honest, you don't think I'm that ugly, you know? And I just think that this person is dreaming it. Like it's like they don't actually mean it, but they'll tell themselves things like, oh, like they're not that great, or I'm gonna show them, or undependable and insincere, especially. Like again, they keep, it's not so much that they'll talk bad about your appearance or anything else you have going on in their life, but they have this dialogue in their head of like, you're dishonest, you lied to them, you led them on, you're superficial, you're a gold digger, or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? And this is what they tell themselves to make themselves feel better about the rejection. And I don't think they talk bad about you in any other way. I don't think they're ripping on like your appearance or anything, or like your intelligence or anything. It's more along the lines of like, you're somehow immoral or not being honest, or you don't know what you want, kind of a thing. So it's very much a cope is what I would call it. Broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. I just feel like this person feels like the bridges to you are broken. They might feel like there's no chance with you now. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to go to stage 2 of the plan, which is, you know, which is proving you wrong. So, we got butterfly, a change for the better, and boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. We also got wealth. So again, this person's focus is just really on wealth and making money and turning into a butterfly, taking whatever they are and evolving up into like this new version of themselves that you are going to find irresistible and be like, oh my God, I made the biggest mistake of my life kind of energy. So we also got bow. So this person, you might wear your hair in a bow or wear it up in a ponytail, and this person finds it really attractive. Something about your hair, they're really attracted to. You might have very distinctive hair or beautiful hair. I feel like they fantasize about kind of running their fingers through it, or like tugging on it, or just kind of like wrapping their fingers up in it, you know, and like getting into it. They just really like your hair, and I feel like they would study your hair and look at your hair and like see how it is every day. You might have been like, I just threw it up in a ponytail, who cares? But they're very attracted to your hair, however you do your hair. Let me get some more cards. What are pile one's fantasies? Person's fantasies towards pile one. One card at a time, please. Spirit. Okay, so yep, this person is just really like they are trying to get material things. Wow, that really flew out. And they also really are dreaming about this family thing. We got 2 cards, seahorse and tree, that deal with family. So they're really wanting this family situation. And I don't know if it's with you, but again, I feel like it very well could be this idea of a wedding or them starting a family with someone else, and then you'll be so regretful. Like, people have fantasies about weird stuff, but this is, I think, what they're imagining. So it's, I know it's like kind of insulting that someone's fantasizing about starting a family with someone, like, as a, like, coming, like, it's insulting when you're trying to get a reading about someone and that's what they're dreaming about, but it actually does come back to you because, again, they're fixated on your reaction. It's like they just want to have kids and a wife or a husband and this perfect family to get back to you. So in that scenario, I'd rather be the person they're dreaming of, because I certainly would be very insulted if someone started a family with me as a way to get back at someone else. Like, excuse me? No, that would be so degrading. And so I think that it actually is directed towards you, as weird as that seems. And again, they're just imagining material things. And they also think about you sexually a lot. We got box. So, if you are a female, especially, they're dreaming about your genitalia. I'm trying to keep everything PG a little bit. If you want to see an 18 plus reading, leave it in the comments. But I do try to keep things, safe for work or for kids a little bit. I mean, I don't think any kids watch, but, just in case someone stumbled across it. So I do think, they imagine your feminine parts, let's say, and crotch area is something that is a fantasy for them. And they're very, like, it makes sense. We got Ram, which is related to Aries. So this person is being very impetuous. Again, I don't think they're thinking through their actions. I think if they were to think this through, they would realize how bad of a plan it is, like marrying someone else to get back at someone. I don't think that would be, stage 1 plan that I would come up with if I was trying to get with someone. Like, probably that would be the last plan I would go with. But that is what this person is. I just think they're right now, they're kind of fueled by revenge. And we got the Emperor, or excuse me, we got the Hierophant. Oh. So yeah, I do think they're dreaming about marriage, and it's just weird because it's with someone else. They're dreaming about marrying someone else and you watching it at home. Like, I feel like for their wedding photos, they would be grinning big. If this person, this might be someone who already got married, for some of you. And if it is, this is what was going on. Because I'm seeing this scenario so clearly in my mind. Like, it is just like a movie. It's like, I can see someone posing for wedding photos and they're grinning ear to ear. They're so happy. And someone from the outside might be like, wow, I have never seen a bride or a groom look so happy in my life. They look ecstatic. They're just the biggest smile I've ever seen. But in their mind, they're not thinking about their partner and like, oh, I'm so lucky to be married to them. I'm the luckiest person in the world. This person's amazing. They're thinking about their ex at home, and like, what are they gonna think when they see this photo? They're gonna really realize they made the bad choice. This wedding is gonna really drive them crazy. So for them, like, this is just a huge motivation. And we got the 3 of Cups, which really does speak about a third party. So if this person is having if this is someone who has a third Sorry, I'm focusing on the other cards I'm pulling and like not making sense. But if this person is with someone else, if you guys, you're asking about someone who did get married, they are definitely 100% still thinking about you, 100,000%. And I wouldn't say that if that's not true, because usually I would tell someone like, move on if someone's with someone else and their energy is towards them. But this person has not mentally moved on. I don't know if this is the healthiest dynamic to stay attached to, but if you want to know their honest feelings, they're still 100% stuck on you. And I feel like you motivate a lot of their choices with their relationship. It all kind of comes back to you, and everything else is just like a means to an end, So again, I don't want to I guess I can do a close up and cut this. I'll try to censor it, but like you can see, you can see this guy's cutting this girl's hair with scissors. So again, this person really likes your hair. They're really obsessed with your hair. They feel like your hair is just like beautiful. I'm hearing some Bible verse. I don't know them all that well, but it's like her hair is her crowning glory. I know that's in the Bible somewhere, and that's what this person feels about you. They just think that it's just beautiful. They really like your hair. And I feel like when they sexually fantasize about you, it has a lot to do with your hair. Like maybe how it would feel. Maybe they think it's really soft, or it would be soft, or maybe it would be an interesting texture for them. But they really, really dream about running their hands through your hair and feeling it. And I feel like, maybe, I'm not trying to make this X-rated. So if you guys want to if you want me to do like an 18 plus reading, request it in the comments, but you can use your imagination with hair stuff, but so this person's very attracted to your hair. They have a lot of sexual attraction towards you. We got the Ace of Wands, which is, this person definitely thinks about you in a very sexual way, a lot. So, I hate to say it because this sounds really gross, but I feel like this person thinks of you sexually when they are with their other partner, or this is what will happen. So, it applies. This is a timeless reading that applies past, present, or future. So if your person's in another relationship already, this is what's going on. If they're not, that's what will be happening in the future. But yeah, so this is someone who is with other people but thinking of you. So, they may be like having sex with other people, but it's like in their mind, they're thinking of you. They dream about you when they're in sexual congress, trying to keep it PG, with someone else. And probably when they're alone as well, if you catch my drift. This is a lot of sexual desire that they have towards you. And they're also like in this for the long haul kind of a thing. Like I feel like they dream about they know that like again, this is like when someone marries someone else, they're basically accepting that that's not a situation that can be resolved right away. Like you can't be like, oh, I married you, but oops, it was a mistake. Sorry about that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to bounce. Bye. And like the marriage is over. If you've never worked in family law, like marriages and divorces take months, if not years, and it's really not unusual for it to take years. And the whole time is basically hell. You're having to file these motions and fight and argue the whole time back and forth and pay lawyers like a lot of money. So the point is that, divorce and marriage is very permanent. And this person is aware of that. I just feel like they're committed to the long term. They feel very hurt by you. They feel very upset by again, I don't think this is rational. I don't think you did something awful to them. However, they feel wronged by you. And so they are like, I'm going to take them and I'm going to show them and I don't care how long it takes kind of an energy. What is Pile 1's fantasies? What is Pile 1's person's fantasies towards them? Unexpected visitors. So I think they also, like, again, this is the scenario that I first saw when I was first opening this reading was literally someone coming back crawling on their hands and knees. They imagine you showing up and like coming in and being like, please, will you just help me or something? Like maybe they have a mansion or something and you like roll up to their mansion and bang on the door like desperate, like it's like the little matchstick girl or something, like just begging for help. Like it's such a weird thing, but that's what they imagine. Like they want that level of a power difference with you where you're really at the bottom. And I feel like then they would imagine being like the magnanimous king or queen where they're like, you know what? I forgive you. And actually, I forgive you enough that I'll take you out for dinner. And like, I'll give you this nice dress or outfit to wear. And it's like, they imagine this whole thing where like, you would come back to them and then they would show you how much they won. So it is vengeful, but then also where like, it would be the perfect dynamic for them to like, I feel like they feel in a way like you're not good enough for them. So unless you were desperate, you would never date them. Like you'd have to be completely, totally desperate to be with them. And they'd have to be like the richest person in the world kind of a vibe. So that's what they want to create, is this situation where you kind of have nothing and you're at rock bottom and they have everything and they are like the king. And then you'll be needing them. You'll be needing their help. So that's what they want and dream of. And for them, like, that's just, that's just what they want to see happen. They, I feel like they were very hurt by this. Their ego took a really big blow and it was very painful for them. And instead of processing that pain in more of a healthy way and being like, maybe I kind of was a little like silly about this, or I could have approached it this way. Again, they just go into blaming you and being upset with you. And now they're using it as fuel of like, I'm going to hustle. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to show them that they messed up and that they made a mistake. So let me also get some astro dice. What is the astro dice that apply to pile one's person's fantasies about them? So we got Uranus, we got Leo, and we got the 12th house, which is an interesting combo, very like dissimilar. So Leo definitely makes sense for how this person sees themselves or would like to be. Leo is the sign of royalty, and I do think this person they dream about being a king or having that dynamic, like a king-peasant dynamic or queen-peasant, and obviously you'd be the peasant in their fantasy and they'd be the king. Or the queen. So this person really wants to be like master of the domain, like master of the world. And so, that's what they dream of. And you seeing them as like the star and just being like, oh my God, I can't believe this person's so amazing. Uranus is like unexpected. And I think that coupled with the 12th house is ruled by Neptune, which can be a lot of things, psychic intuition and stuff, but it's also delusion. And I think this person, Uranus and Neptune together, can really be troublemakers. They can also be genius, but they can also create a level of like delusion or just doing crazy stuff where it's like, wait a minute, what the heck? And sometimes it works. It's like out of the blue, it's like, I would never put those two together, but that's amazing. But a lot of times too, it can not work, and I feel like this person is making choices that to me are very, not delusional, but a little bit like, I don't want to be that harsh, but like, I just think it's stupid to marry someone to make someone jealous. Like, sorry, especially ask anyone who worked in family law. It's like, that is so stupid because divorce sucks. And unless you're really in love, no one, should be getting married, to be honest. Like, it's like, especially not out of revenge. I mean, that is just so ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It's one thing to date someone else to get revenge on someone or to make them jealous, but to marry someone is just crazy. And that's what this person is dreaming of, and thinking of, or might have already done, is like marriage to someone. I think that they think that they're like you view them as not being good enough for you, and that you view them as not being good enough in general. And so the ultimate sign of like acceptance would be like marrying someone, you know? And so it's almost like they want to prove to you that other people see them as marriage material, other people see them as good enough, other people see them as like husband or wife material. And so this person, that's why they're so fixated on the marriage. It's because that's the ultimate symbol of like acceptance, and they want you to look at them and be like, oh my God, this person that they're marrying is actually a really like attractive person, has options, and the fact that they're marrying them says it all. And wow, I really messed up. Like that's their dream scenario. So that's, I think, why they're so fixated on this idea of marriage. You might also be someone who is kind of a motherly energy, or like dreams, like I feel like you have a good reputation. Like you might have like an Instagram or social media that's like curated, or just people like respect you, kind of a thing. Like you have a good reputation. If most people asked about you, they'd be like, oh yeah, this person, they're really responsible. Or your Instagram is just like kind of poppin', and there's, you know, like really cute pictures. It's not like a mess Instagram, you know, with like some blurry out of focus photos of like someone's, you know, Burger King meal or something. Like it's like you have like nice photos and things are looking good. Some kind of reputational thing where like people are looking at you and being like, oh yeah, this person has a lot going on. And so because of that, this person wants to bring it into like the reputation competition. Like I'm hearing reputation Olympics, where it's like, you have a good reputation? No, it's not going to be as good as me. I have the better reputation, because they see that as something that will like get your attention, or something that you value. Like you've taken the time to create a good reputation for yourself in whatever way. And so because of that, they want to like beat you at your own game and make you take notice of them. Just like if you wanted to make like the star, you know, basketball player at school jealous, you'd start learning basketball and you'd become really good at basketball and beat them at their own game in your fantasy. You know, maybe you wouldn't be capable of it, but that's what you would want. And so I think that's why this person has this dream of having a very public marriage where everyone knows about it. They're not going to have one of those happy marriages that's like, we're just going to be cozying up and we're just going to be reading in front of the fire and it's really sweet, but it's just between the two of us. No, they want it to be public. They want you to see and they want others to see. And I think that just, again, it goes back to this craving they have to get your attention. So that's kind of all I have for you guys today, but I hope it shed some light on the situation. I hope it resonated. Please let me know if it did, you guys. And again, if you have any reading ideas, please let me know. I do source a lot of my readings from the comments. So if you have an idea you'd like, let me know. Also, if you want to see an 18 plus, like more of a actual sexual fantasy reading, let me know, because again, otherwise I try to keep things a little bit, you know, safe for work, or safe in case like a teenager, or I mean a kid would be a little much, but you know, stumbled across it. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys. Take care, have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next reading. Make sure you're subscribed if you'd like to see that, and make sure you like the video if you liked it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey Pile 2, so if you guys picked this beautiful white crystal, this is going to be your reading. This is aragonite, and it is really great for centering and meditation and just reducing stress and kind of getting you back to your center. So hopefully, I'm actually going to hold it with me because I love the energy of this for doing readings. So with that being said, let's get into what your person's fantasies are of you. Spirit, what is pile 2's person's fantasies about them? Pile 2's person's fantasies about them. What is pile 2's person's fantasies? What is pile 2's person's fantasies about them? Okay, so we got a lot of reversals. Queen of Wands reversed, the Tower, upright, the Lovers, the Four of Cups reversed, the Four of Swords, the Emperor reversed. What is pile two's person's fantasies? Getting a vibe that's not so much a fantasy, but we'll see what Spirit has to say. What is pile two's person's fantasies? Okay, we got the Eight of Pentacles, the Chariot reversed. So this person just really wants to be with you. That's what I'm getting really strongly. Like, it's like a very sweet energy. They want you to like come to them and just be with them. Like, it's very simple. Their feelings for you are very sweet, almost childlike, almost like almost, you know, like a young love kind of an energy. Like it's like they have this very sweet, gentle energy towards you. But I just feel like they're in a lot of pain that they're not with you, you know, and it makes them feel very disempowered. It makes them feel very almost like useless. Like, if I can't make this happen, what did I make happen? Like, what else in my life could I possibly accomplish if I can't even make this relationship happen that I want so bad, you know? And so it's like, for them, it was a bit of a tower moment for them, and they're just going through a lot. So I feel like, I mean, we're asking about fantasies, but Spirit just tells us, you know, whatever Spirit wants to, whatever needs to come across. So they're really talking more about their emotional mindset when it comes to you, which is very upset that you guys aren't together, and they beat themselves up a lot. They're not so much blaming you, but it's like they're blaming themselves. I feel like this was a very destabilizing event for them emotionally. There's very much a sense of like almost loathing, or like, gosh, I'm such a failure, I couldn't make this happen. And just feeling really trapped and stuff, and feeling very like, I wish I could move this forward, but I can't. I'm stuck, and they feel disempowered, you know, they feel kind of, like I said, useless keeps coming to mind. And it's because of you. But so, I mean, I'm trying to ask about their fantasies. I feel like the fantasy of being with you, it's not that much of a fantasy. It's just like marriage and like a wedding and just being with you. Like, it's very sweet and very wholesome, honestly. It's not like some nasty fantasy like being a freak, you know. It's like it's like holding your hand and like, you know, like running their fingers through your hair in a really sweet way, and like taking you out to eat and taking you out to lunch, and it's very sweet how they feel towards you. It's like wifey kind of vibes, you know, like they want to see you with them as their partner kind of a thing. Like, I feel like they have so much respect for you that it's almost like, I feel like they don't want to imagine you in like a nasty way. You know, sometimes when someone has a crush on someone, they imagine them in all kinds of like sexual situations, but this person is really so almost in awe of you that I feel like they try not to like go there as much. I think they obviously have those feelings, but it's like, you're not like, I feel like I'm hearing like, you're not that kind of girl. Like, they don't imagine you as being like a sexual freak kind of. I keep hearing that. Like, it's like they see you as like this perfect, beautiful person, and they don't want to like sully you with like, you know, thoughts about like nasty sexual stuff, if that makes sense. Although I think they have those feelings, but I feel like they just, when it comes to you, you make them kind of, I'm hearing you make me want to be a better man. So this might be a male that you're asking about. If you're asking about A female, the same thing can apply. Just, obviously it would be you make me want to be a better woman, but I'm hearing you make me want to be a better man, and most of my viewers are women, so that would make sense. But I think that, yeah, this person, it's like they want to be on your level. I feel like they fantasize about you coming to them and you just being like, oh my God, like I'm in love with you. I made them, they kind of, in a way, it's like they kind of put it on you a little bit of like, they need to be the one to reach out to me. Again, I feel like they feel so disempowered. They don't feel powerful enough. And so it's like this thing where they kind of put it on you. Like, I don't have any power, so the only way this situation can work out is if they come. And it's almost like they had that expectation and they're kind of like, well, why aren't they texting me? Why aren't they coming to me? They also see you as so powerful that it's like, in their mind, that you should be coming to them. Because I feel like I'm hearing that Ariana Grande song that's like, I think it's Seven Rings, I guess. That's like, I want it, I bought it. I want it, I got it. I don't know that song that well because I don't like, that song's okay to me, but it's not like my fave. So, but yeah, I'm hearing like, I want it, I got it. And the whole point is whenever she wants something, she just gets it. No matter what it is, no matter how expensive, or what kind of a goal she has, she just makes it happen. And that's how they view you, as just someone that, like, if you have something you want, you would go after it. And they feel like they just think you're so much of like a go-getter that if you wanted to be with them, you would. And so they put a lot of it on you of like, that's why you guys aren't together. But I don't think they blame you. I think they take it as like, I'm maybe not good enough for them because they aren't with me. And if I was good enough, they would be with me. Let me get some more cards for pile 2. Can we get some cards for pile 2? We got Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. What are pile 2's person's fantasies? Fantasies, not thoughts, fantasies. I'm trying to get fantasies for you guys, pile 2, but I have to go with what Spirit brings out. So, yeah, we got Camel, persevere, and you will overcome problems. Success, Owl, a carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. One of them dropped, and it was tent, temporary situation, axe, forces working against you. So this person, yeah, they're just kind of in like a very negative place, and I feel like they spend a lot of time thinking about you, fantasizing about you. You make them feel a lot better because it's like they're kind of in a dark night of the soul period where they're just going through a lot. Going through a lot of hard times, and I feel like they see you as the person that could be like the solution. Like if you were to be with them, if you were to be interested in them, it would transform everything in their life, which is a little unrealistic or maybe too much pressure to put on someone, but that's how they view you. It's like there's just so much depressing stuff going on in their life that they view you as like this light, as like this beautiful person. I feel like you are someone who is very strong in your way. You might have been through a lot in your life, like a lot of difficult times, and they see that about you, and that inspires them a lot. Like they feel like if they could be half as strong as you, that they would have it made, like if they could just get half your power, half your determination and grit, that they would be able to light the world on fire, and it's almost like they compare themselves to you and get into a negative mindset because it's just like, I'm never gonna be that good, or she would handle it this way, like she's so smart. I think that's why they don't have as many dirty sexual fantasies, because they just have this idea of you as being so above them, and they see like just a light coming from you. I feel like you've been through a lot, but you haven't let it break you. You haven't let it bring you down. You haven't like given in. You are a very strong person, actually. And it's funny because your stone is ruled by Capricorn. And so arrogantite, it's a very powerful stone. Even though it's used for like meditation and healing, it's actually ruled by Capricorn, which is the mountain goat. And Capricorn's all about, it's ruled by Saturn. It's all about strength. It's all about persevering through hard and difficult times. And so even though this stone is like a white stone, which is usually like, I don't know, we kind of associate that with purity, and that's not so much the vibe of Saturn and Capricorn. But this stone really is about going through the hard times, but moving through it. And that's, I think, why you guys connected to this stone, is because that's your energy. You've been through so much, and you've been through so much difficulty, but you've come out still a beautiful person. You haven't let it turn you into like a bitter, cruel, mean person. You haven't let the darkness of the world like stain your soul. You know what I mean? Even though you've been through it and you've had like hard times, and you haven't had like this perfect privileged life. Even if you grew up with like wealth or something, I feel like it was like, you know, not a perfect family situation or something. There was, you know, some level of darkness around you that you had to face, even if people didn't know about it. Because I do feel like you're also the type of person who keeps like your dignity. You know what I mean? You're not the type to tell everyone everything that's going along. And as I was saying that, we got Mountain Road, which is like, a lot of times to me this card represents Capricorn and the mountain goat, because, you know, it's mountain goat climbs the mountain. You guys do have this energy of like quiet dignity about you, and I think that that's what this person, they just see you as like a role model, almost like that you're like this goddess to them. Like they really look up to you and see you as someone who's accomplished so much, and so they value your judgment. And I think that's why it's caused a dark night of the soul for them, is they feel like, well, if I was good enough, we'd be together, because this person knows, like, this person is so smart about life and knows everything and is really like wise, you know. And so it's like, if they are deciding I'm not good enough, then I'm not good enough. So actually we're getting some more sexual cards. I feel like this person though, like, again, the vibe I'm getting is more like, it's almost like, this is a hard kind of energy to read, but I feel like they can be very sexual on their own. Like, it's like, you know what I'm getting is like, you know, those guys that will like sleep around with a lot of females or something, and they will be like Mr. Man about town or something, and then they meet the one woman, and then it's like suddenly they're like completely buttoned up like family man, and you're like, wait a minute, what the heck happened? Because like a year ago you were out partying every single night and sleeping around and whatever, and now you're like Mr. Family Guy that acts like he would never go to a nightclub in his life, and he's like dressed like a dad, and he just looks so like not the same energy. I feel like that's how they view you. Like, I'm seeing like George Clooney with like Amal Clooney, you know how he was like a famous playboy, and then he met her and they settled down in like a year. Or same with like also like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, whether you like or don't like them, because I know a lot of people really dislike them. So not taking sides in that at all, just saying that, you know, he like met her and then it was like he settled down really quick, even though before that he was kind of dating all over town. Apparently, from what I read, like he was dating a lot of different girls, and then he met Megan and it was like boom, and he just kind of only had eyes for her. So the point is that I just feel like this person, when it comes to you, they really see you as like the one, kind of, and it's like they don't want to imagine you in like a nasty sexual term, because I feel like they've done that with other people. They might have had issues with like watching too much porn, or that might be something they're trying to quit, and it's like, with you, they have this possibility of like a window that they see as opening into like a new reality. Like, oh, if I was with this person, everything would line up. And this person that they would like to become, who's like not watching porn all the time and not, I don't know, playing too much video games or just, you know, dysfunctional behavior. This person sees you as like the path to that, because they see you as having your life so lined up and so you're so smart and you've overcome so much that it's like you inspire them to be better. So whereas before in the past they might have sexually really imagined stuff about their crush, I feel like they actively try not to do that with you because they just see you as better than that, if that makes sense. But I do think in terms of like, and again, this is not supposed to be an 18 plus reading. If that's something you guys would like to see, we can definitely tune into that energy, but request it in the comments because I do try to keep my page kind of PG and like safe in case a younger person stumbled across it. So I try not to get too graphic. But if that's something you would like to see, let me know and I can definitely think about making a video with that. But yeah, so they do think of you sexually. They're very sexually attracted to you, and specifically, you know, they're attracted to your hands or the I wish this was an 18 plus reading because I actually have a lot to say about that. Handshake, but I feel like, yeah, they, you know, to them, like sexual acceptance from you would be kind of everything, you know? And I think sexually they feel like, again, they feel so, it's interesting. They feel so very impure when it comes to you. They see you as very pure. You might be the kind of person who doesn't post like bikini selfies or doesn't post stuff about like going out and partying all the time, or like they see you as having a pure energy about you. They see you as very innocent and they like that about you, and it makes them want to move more in that direction, you know? Like they see you as more of a almost like virginal energy, and it makes them feel like impure in comparison, you know what I mean? So it's like they do have these sexual feelings for you, but it's kind of like they're trying to like moderate it a little bit. They're trying to not have these like really raunchy thoughts about you, because it's almost like they're like, no, they're too good for that. Like, come on, you can't think of this person that way. Like, they're way better than that. That's how they're viewing it. I'm not making any judgments, but you know, on like sexuality or whatever, but I just feel like that's their view. Like I'm hearing again, you make me want to be a better man. So it's like they're trying not to give into those kind of base desires as much, but they definitely are sexually attracted to you, and you've made them realize. I feel like it's like, you know, I'm getting the image or something of someone who's like coming over to like a bachelor pad, and the guy like is crazily cleaning it up and like putting away like old condoms or something, or like, you know, like another woman's underwear that like she left at his place a while ago and he like throws them out finally, or, you know, like old photographs of an old girlfriend and he's like throwing them all out because he's making the place clean and ready and getting rid of some of the old sexual connections and evidence of maybe sexual relationships that they're not as proud of anymore. So yeah, the sexual thoughts towards you are for sure there, but it's almost like it excites them that you are not a super sexually raunchy person, or that's not how they perceive you. I mean, you might be, and this person just is very unaware of it, but in their mind, you are not like a sexually raunchy person. You're not, you know, I feel like they don't even think they think you're more inexperienced. So again, that could just be their perception in their mind, but they do see you as being inexperienced and not as being someone who has been with a ton of people. So what are pile two's person's sexual desires about them? Oh, not a surprise, we got the Empress. So yeah, they just like, I think I said you have goddess energy, but it's really Empress energy, and I literally was thinking in my mind, why didn't the Empress card come out? And now it came out. So we got the Two of Swords reversed. So yeah, this person definitely does want to reach out to you. Knave of Cups. So this person definitely, like you can see in that image, it really says it all. They definitely stay up late thinking about you. They definitely spend a lot of time like imagining you. I feel like in a way I'm getting the vibe that like you might have been separated from them during this pandemic for some of you, and it's like they're enjoying the time or the break from like they kind of want a little privacy from you, but not in a bad way, like let me get away from this person, but they really want the time to like work on themselves. Like it's like, you know, when you have like a date that you're really nervous about, and you try on like every dress in your closet or every outfit in your closet, and you like plan your makeup days before, like try out the new look and like practice it just to see if it works, and do your hair special, and like it's like, or you meet someone and you are super attracted to them, but you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get on a new workout plan so that I look extra good, or I'm gonna start doing this so I look extra good. It's kind of that energy where they're so nervous around you that they've really enjoyed a little bit of having separation from you so that they can work through whatever they're insecure about, I guess. I mean, for some of you, I'm getting the energy that this could be someone you're actually with and in a relationship with, because they just, I mean, we've gotten a bunch of marriage cards, a bunch of like soulmate cards, and I'm just getting that vibe that maybe you're doing a reading about your actual spouse, and this is a very sweet energy. I mean, the way this person sees you is like as spouse, like wifey. I keep hearing that. And we just got the 10 of Cups. So exactly, this person just really sees you as so amazing and just as like long-term potential. We just got the Hierophant, the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Wands. So yeah, there is so much attraction towards you, and this person sees you as like, not there's so much attraction to you, although that exists. With the 2 of Wands, I get confused when I'm like processing all the cards at once. But there's marriage energy here. Marriage material, marriage desire is coming through really strong. So for some of you, you might actually be married to this person. This could be, because I know sometimes married people, like, or someone in a relationship will do these readings, and most of them are for, and have the energy of like someone who's left, because it's most of the people doing these readings, and obviously they're general, so I have to speak for the majority. But I'm getting the vibe that for some of you guys tuning in, this could be my pile of like the people in a happy relationship, in which case, yeah, like everything's good and this person just really likes you and has a ton of respect for you and sees you as long-term potential. But for those of you guys in separation, this person has really enjoyed the changes you've made them make into their life. We also got the Death card, and this person sees you as someone who's brought in a little death to their lives, but in a good way. The Death card is all about like something ending, and then after the ending you have the potential for rebirth, and this person is very happy with the changes you brought into their life. I feel like it's like I keep getting also that like workout routine thing. You know, when like something inspires you to start a new workout routine or a new diet or a lifestyle change to maybe be healthier or something, and afterward, like at first you're like, oh God, I need to do this for that, but then it's like afterwards you feel better. You are like, wow, I started waking up at 7 a.m. to go on runs, and I'm actually a morning person, and I love the feeling of waking up so early, and I love starting my day with that, healthy like protein smoothie that I make with the spinach and the banana, and I just feel so good about myself, and it's so much better than when I would wake up and eat like that bag of Doritos, like I feel better, I am more confident or whatever. Like this is that kind of energy where like you made them make changes because again they have so much respect for you that I feel like they've had to adjust things in their life, and now they're like, oh, I really like the changes this person brought in. So even though I feel like there's this sense of sometimes defeat around you and like, oh, like this ended, or I needed to change this, or self-questioning that goes on, ultimately they like the result. And this is also, like I keep getting Capricorn energy here. That's like a major Capricorn thing. I always say Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, is like the hardest teacher in school, but they also have the biggest reward. So it's kind of like that teacher that is like the harshest grader ever, and you end up having to study like twice as much as all your other classes. But when it comes time to like take the standardized tests at the end of the year, you're so grateful for that teacher, and you're so like, oh, I aced it, I know I did a great job, and you get like 5 stars, or you get 100% and like shoot to the front of the line of the admissions list or something. I don't know, because of the hard lessons you learned through this teacher. And so that's how they see you, and that's what you've kind of done in their life, is make them question a lot. But they're like, oh yeah, I feel really good making those changes. You know, like they could have been existing in this old life they had, I feel, where they were, I feel like, had just some dysfunctional patterns. Again, I'm getting like the porn usage or something, so maybe they watch too much of that, and then you've made them want to make changes and, like, again, want to be a better man, which is what I keep hearing. If you are a man watching this about a woman, just switch it around. Sorry, but this is what keeps echoing in my head. And so because of that, they really like the changes they've made, you know, like they're just happy with everything that has happened. What is pile two's person's fantasies about them? About, yeah, pile two. What does person's fantasies about them? Keep getting hair for you guys too. I got that for pile one as well, but I do think they fantasize, they think you have really good hair in some way. Yeah, so I feel like their fantasies are something along the lines of you being really happy and proud of them. You know, you being like, oh my gosh, you did an amazing job, and just being like completely impressed with them. And that's when they'll kind of feel like they really made it. And that's when they'll feel like, oh, like I did it and everything's okay now, you know? I also feel like they, you know, they like I said, they fantasize about really being with you kind of long term and having like a marriage situation with you. Are there any more cards for pile two's person's fantasies about them? So yeah, we got home and balancing act and another home. Even though that's storm fields, I feel like, again, they really want to start like a home, a family with you. They really want like a marriage, long-term thing with you. They fantasize, I feel like they just fantasize about you being their partner, about you. It's like I'm hearing White Dress by Taylor Swift. I don't know that song that well, but I know the title. And I feel like they fantasize about seeing you in a white dress. Or she says, like, in that song, I don't know which one, she says, I think it's Love Story, she says like something about being in a white dress, and they, like, he comes in and swoops her off her feet. And I feel like their situation, their feelings towards you are super pure. Like, I know that era for Taylor Swift, it was like she was like 16 or 17 when she wrote it, and it's about like Romeo and Juliet, and it's very like sweet but kind of like young and innocent, and that's how they feel towards you. You know, this might be about a young person, or you might be a young person or an innocent person, but their feelings towards you are very pure, very sweet, very loving. It's actually really nice because, again, so much of the time when there's separation in a relationship, there's so much bitterness that will come through, or revenge or anger, and this person really doesn't have any of that. It's just like they just want the best for you and they want you to be with them, but they're really just so sweet about it. It's actually really nice to see. It's really nice to see that for once, because we get so much of like negative stuff. Yeah. I really like this person's energy, and I feel like they're working on themselves. They're trying to become better for you. And they do see you as just like a soulmate, long-term type of situation. They don't see you as like a jump off or a short-term thing. I mean, that goes without saying after everything I've said, like, and they just really want you to be like open to them. I think physically, you know, so take that to mean what you want, but, I feel like their fantasies of you are like wedding night, marriage bed, you know. I think they like the fact that they perceive you as being a little innocent, a little, you know, a little naive, or a little like, they like the fact that you have not, they don't, in their mind, you're not as experienced, or you're not as, it's not like you've had a ton of relationships and, you know, it's not really a big deal to you. They like the fact that, like, in their mind, you are, if you guys got together, it would be exciting for you. You would be like, wow, like, this is kind of new in terms of being with them, at least. I mean, I'm not trying to be weird or say anything weird, but I just feel like they like that you're a little innocent, if that makes sense. And so their dreams about you are just kind of like you accepting them, you coming to them and being really open to them. And I think they just, yeah, they see you as like, you know, the whole thing. They wouldn't want to just be with you once and then it's over and it's like a wild, crazy night, but like, oh, we had a lot of fun, but that's it. They really see you as like, you know, waking up in the morning and cooking pancakes for each other, and, you know, then going to bed together at, wow, I'm not even speaking English, going to bed together again the next night, and night after night just being with each other. And I feel like they really dream about like learning with you and all that stuff. So let me get some astro dice in terms of pile two's person's fantasies about them. Okay, so we got Saturn, which I was saying is the vibe I'm getting for Capricorn. And then and we also got Scorpio. So I kept talking about Capricorn, so we got it. We got Saturn, and we got the 12th house as well, which is ruled by Pisces. So we got Saturn, Scorpio, and Pisces. So for me, I feel like, again, I kept talking about how Scorpio comes across. Scorpio rules sex, and Scorpio is about sex and sexuality, and it can be also like addiction, so can the 12th house, but like, you know, being too concerned with sex or stuff like that, being too in that energy. And so this person, I feel like, again, you've made them want to kind of clean up their act, and maybe they felt like they were watching like too much porn or something, and now you've made them able to not watch and they can just think about you. And they, you know, it's like, I feel like this person is making an active effort to become a better man. I keep getting that just that phrase in my head, and I just feel like, you know, they might be trying to give up pornography, which a lot of people are doing. I really respect that, because pornography is such a horrifyingly exploitative industry. So it's something I for sure admire and encourage if someone is on the fence about that or having an issue with addiction to that, because yeah, it's a really awful industry, and there's so many benefits to not being engaged in that, because it's really exploitative and kind of horrifying when you look into what goes on with that. So I think that's really great that that's something this person is really making an active effort to do, especially, you know, a lot of young men have issues with addiction to that. And so it's like, if this is a young guy that you're asking about, I think it's really amazing and so beautiful that that's a choice they're making. Anytime you kind of give up a toxic industry, it's a positive thing, and, you know, will have ripples in the rest of your life. So that's really beautiful. And I really get the vibe that that might be something that's going on, someone that gave up porn or is trying to do that. And I feel like that's something you inspired in their life. And so it's like you've kind of shined a spotlight on maybe some of their habits that were not the healthiest and things they would like to change, so that they can get to your level. I feel like, if anything, like stuff that's happened to them that maybe they found discouraging or that made them question themselves, the bad things in their life that have happened, you've just encouraged them that they can get over it, that they can move on and be strong, because you're so strong. And this is where the Capricorn Saturn comes in. As I was saying, Saturn's the hardest teacher and all of that. You have gone through a lot, but you've come out on the other side not only still so strong and beautiful, but also keeping touch with your purity. A lot of times people think that if someone does something degrading or nasty or evil to us, that it somehow takes away our purity, but it really doesn't. You know, that's such a misconception. It can take away your naivete. It can take away your idea of everything's great in this world, but it can't take away your purity. That's a choice you can make, because you are still the same person. And just because someone did something evil or nasty or sick to you does not change who you are fundamentally down at your soul level. You know what I mean? That wasn't your choice. Frankly, it had really nothing to do with you. You know, a lot of times people who are nasty or low vibrational or evil or predatory or whatever, or just mean people or whatever. Because obviously there's levels, but a lot of those people, it's like they're just gonna behave that way in general towards everyone, and you just happen to be the unlucky person who was in their orbit, who happened to be nearby, who they were able to act that way towards. And that's how a lot of trauma happens, is someone's just evil, and then someone was like in the periphery and got roped into it. But the thing is that people will internalize it, like, oh, there's something about me, there's something wrong with me, that this person chose to act this way towards me, when really it had nothing to do with you in the slightest. It's just you happen to have bad luck that, you know, you walked through and this person stumbled across you, and you just happened to matter of luck be there. And it just kind of like sucks, but it's not anything to actually do with you. And I feel like you have kept all your purity and beauty and like your kindness and your sweetness, and you have not actually let it make you into a dark person. Whatever you've been through, because obviously there's levels of trauma, but whatever trauma you guys went through, you are still a sweet, loving, kind person in your core, and you've never lost sight of it. You've kept it. 12th house is ruled by Pisces, so some of you might be Pisces, you could also be Capricorn, also be Scorpio, but this person like sees you as very pure. Pisces is a very pure sign, and actually the funny thing about Pisces, and this just came to mind with me now in relation for you guys, is it's actually the oldest sign of the zodiac. And a lot of the school of thought is that the 12th house, when you're a Pisces, you've already lived in all the other 12 signs. So it's like reincarnation, like you've been reincarnated a lot to kind of evolve to a Pisces. And so you've been through it. So if you've been through all the 12 signs and you've lived life as a Capricorn and a Gemini and a Scorpio and everything, you've been through trauma. But Pisces is generally is the most pure sign of the zodiac. So all of that being said is to mean you can go through the whole ringer of whatever life throws at you, and you can still be sweet and kind in your core. And that's how you are. You are a sweet, loving person. And that's why you inspire this person so much and have made them want to make positive changes. And it's like, I feel like the idea for them of sexual congress with you is so much more exciting than anything else they've been through. They like the fact that you're a pure person. The sex they dream of having with you is very like high vibrational, pure soulmate sex. You know, it's not like hit it and quit it, or, well, we're gonna do some wild sexual thing, but there's no connection and it's kind of degrading, or it's kind of weird, like, you know, that kind of a thing. That's not what they're imagining. They recognize that sex with you would be a soul-to-soul thing, and it would be so much more beautiful and intense no matter how you guys had sex or how boring someone else might call it. That is such a lie, by the way, because I'm not trying to make this into an 18+ reading, but like, you know, the vanilla sex can be like the absolute best, and especially when it's soul-to-soul. Like, seriously, I mean, that's a whole topic for a whole nother video. If you guys want to see that, then definitely leave it in the comments. But I'm just saying 100% fact, that's this person is recognizing that like you guys joining together in union would be a spiritual thing. It would be a million times better than anything they could experience with anyone else. And so their sexual thoughts about you have a level of purity or high vibrational energy towards it that, you know, you see in like soulmates and stuff, that all other kinds of sex, no matter how wild it may be, is trying to only approximate, could never even come close to that level of connection. And so it's actually very complimentary, even though sometimes people watch these videos and they want to know like specific like acts, or, you know, like, oh, this person has this kind of dirty thoughts, but it's almost like there's no dirtiness here. It's so pure, it's so beautiful, but it's the highest level of sex that you could have. It's high vibrational, intense, soul to soul transformative sex. And what could be more wild and like sexy than that? I mean, that's literally the highest level of sex. So yeah, this person's sexual thoughts towards you are very are just really beautiful and soulmate vibes for sure. So I just love this pile. I think you guys, if you guys are separated, I definitely get a good feeling about this. You guys might end up back together. And if you guys are together, because I feel like for some of you, you guys are like, this is just a beautiful relationship and I just enjoy it. Yeah, what a beautiful energy. I feel like rejuvenated having tapped into this. So thank you guys for letting me into this. I just love this, and I wasn't expecting it in a fantasy reading, but you know, gotta go with what spirit says. So if you guys do want to see that 18 plus reading, please leave it in the comments. Also, if you have any other reading ideas, I source a lot from the comments. So if there's something you want to see, let me know, and I will definitely think about doing a reading about it. Yeah, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you liked this reading. I post every few days, so if you want to see more, make sure you're subbed so you can listen to those. But yeah, so I will see you guys in the next reading. Have an amazing day. Sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hey Pile 3, so if you guys picked this beautiful purple crystal, this is going to be your reading. This is lapidolite. It helps with the crown chakra, opening that, and just kind of like deep healing. So hopefully, actually I'm gonna hold it on me. It helps with like spirituality and kind of connecting to source. So hopefully it will give an extra great reading today. So let's get into what your person's fantasies are about you. What is Pile 3's person's fantasies about them? What are Pile 3's person's fantasies? What are Pile 3's person's fantasies? Okay. We got a lot of wands. We got the 4 of wands. We got the 6 of wands. We got the 9 of wands. The magician. The king of swords. What are Pile 3's person's fantasies about them? We got the 7 of wands. Hermit, the hanged man. Okay, interesting. Okay, the death card reversed. Interesting fantasies. What are Pile 3's person's fantasies? So there's a lot of fighting in these cards, you can see. I mean, like, yeah, we got the 5 of wands, we got the 7 of wands, the 9 of wands. So I feel like this person's fantasy is like beating out other people to get to you. So they perceive you as having a lot of other options, I guess. And it's kind of like they want to win and be the top person who's like the, you know, the one who won, the one who beat out everyone. And that's kind of their fantasy towards you. That's what they would like to see happen, is for them to like win and to be the one who gets you. I feel like they would feel that would give them a lot of, like, that would really gratify them. That would give them a lot of gratification. In a way, I feel like maybe they would like that public like recognition for people seeing you guys together. So I feel like this person may perceive you as having other options or even a third party situation, but in their mind it's like there are other people involved who they kind of have to fight off. And so you choosing them would be like the ultimate sign that they won, that they are good enough. And so they really fantasize, I know it's weird to say, but they fantasize about commitment. We got 2 cards that indicate marriage, and they want everyone to see you guys together. They want everyone to see like, oh yeah, no, they paired up and, you know, they're official and whatever. I feel like they would love for it to be public on like social media or something, like maybe Instagram. They dream about like people being like, oh, those two got together. Maybe they perceive you as being way outside their league somehow. Like maybe, you know, you guys are in school together and they perceive you as being more popular, or you guys like work together and you're kind of like, you know, the queen of the office kind of vibes or something. But they perceive that if you guys got together, I'm hearing like get on my level, and that's like you saying that to them. like if you guys were together, it would give them some kind of clout or public recognition of being like, wow, that person's actually really cool. I didn't know a guy like that could get with a girl like her, kind of a thing. Like, oh, he must really be, you know, actually really great. I didn't realize that. You know, I'm hearing like, or in my mind, I'm seeing like a lot of the headlines or comments people have made about Pete Davidson, where they're like, what does he bring to the table, and why does he keep dating like all these beautiful women like Ariana Grande, and I don't know, he's dated a lot of like celebrity women, and people are always asking that. Like now he's dating, I guess, the girl from Bridgerton or something, and people are like, why are these girls with him? A lot of guys ask that because they're like, they don't see him as being very attractive, and then he's with these kind of like beautiful actresses or singers, and so I feel like, and then a lot of times like I'm seeing like people answer where they say like, oh, like he has BDE, you know. And so I feel like this person, they want that to be like the conversation, like, oh, well, maybe he doesn't look that great, but like between the sheets, he's pretty amazing, kind of a thing. Like they want people to be like, wow, okay, he must have something going for him if he got her. That's what this person kind of fantasizes about, is like public recognition for you guys, and like a new situation for them where people are like, oh, like they're not this certain way that they've been perceived as. They are actually now perceived as being in a relationship with you. I do feel like they see you as being like better than them somehow, or that getting with you would give them some kind of social proof or social situation that they want. So let me get some more cards. But they definitely are imagining commitment to you and like a long-term relationship situation. Or, you know, sometimes also it's not just the Pete Davidson BDE thing, but like people will be like, oh, I wonder what the like model saw in like the wealthy guy. Like however they get with you, they don't really care. They don't care what people are gonna say. They don't care about people being like, oh, well, she's only with him because of XYZ. They're like, fine, yep, think that. They like that. They like that. They feel like if they got with you, people would be surprised, and people would be like, well, he must be doing something. He must be like paying her money or taking her out on really nice dates. Oh, those didn't even come together. That's nice. They don't care about people, you know, saying that like they're only bringing a certain thing to the table, because they view being with you as just like, it would be, they like that reputation that it would give them for some reason. They also feel like it would be like a fresh start for them. Maybe they just don't like the kind of reputation they have right now. But they feel like if they got with you, that the conversation would change. You know, the way people perceive them would change. So we got oh, I can't even read, the Queen of Swords, and we got the Five of Swords, and we got the Fool reversed. So yeah, this person, we get fantasies for pile 3's person that they have about them. Okay, so we got marriage again. This person really is imagining marriage with you, or some kind of public commitment to being with you. We got the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So yeah, there is just a lot of imagining of you coming together with them, and kind of like a public situation in which I feel like they want everyone to be talking about you guys getting together. They want everyone to kind of like notice that, oh, like I didn't know they were dating. Yeah, they're together now. So that's like a major fantasy that I feel like they relive, like imagining what people's reactions would be, imagining like what people would say, what their faces would look like, kind of a thing. Like they just kind of imagine it all. They just really like the idea of you guys finding a way to be together, and like making that happen. So yeah, there's kind of, I feel like I'm hearing, you know, that Conor McGregor saying where he, in like his fights, like he talks trash and stuff, and he said like, I can change your whole bum life or something, and that's what that person is saying about you. Like, I feel like if you guys got together, they feel like it would change their whole life, like in a really positive way, that, you know, whatever they have going on would suddenly be like a million times better. You guys might have some kind of money or something. I'm trying to figure out why this person is so obsessed with the idea that getting with you is going to improve their life. I feel like it's a lot of public perception. Like, they just see you as having a certain level of status, but I also feel like there's like, it's like, I don't know, you might be very physically attractive or something. And maybe they feel like if they were walking around like with you on their arm, that, you know, people would be like, "Oh my God. Oh wow. He must really be bringing something to the table." But I think that, yeah, I feel like I think that might be what it is, that they're very physically attracted to you, and they don't feel like good enough to be with you. I'm hearing that they feel, and this is their perception. So, you know, you might not feel this way, but they feel like you are very physically hot. They feel like you're very physically sexy, and like being with you would, according to them, what they're telling me is like, you're the hottest person they've ever been with. They've never been with someone as hot as you. And so they are imagining what that would be like. I feel like it's kind of like, you know, I feel like you would say, or how you would feel is like, I'm just a person like any other. Like, you don't necessarily see yourself as like, I'm a supermodel, I'm the most gorgeous person ever, but that's kind of the view they have towards you. It's a little bit immature. And so because of that, there's like this fantasy playing out in the way that, you know, you can only have these fantasies when you've never experienced something. You know, it's kind of like, you dream about, like, if there's ever been an item that you've really wanted, you know, and you're like, oh, if I was to get that like certain bag, or if I was to get that certain like item, I would finally be happy. I could finally be happy. Or if I ever moved into this kind of apartment, like, I know I did that with my old apartment. I was just so sick of the, you know, apartment I had been living in, and I made this whole list of things I wanted to manifest for my new apartment. And I managed to find that exact apartment that I wanted, and it was like the most perfect apartment that I could, and I was so excited before I was going to move into it. Like, I was like, yes, it has this, it has that, and oh my God, it's going to be so much better. And it did have all those things, and I definitely appreciated them when I moved in. It was like, yes, because my previous apartment had been a lot smaller and darker, so like this new apartment was really huge with a lot of light and new appliances, and like, it was just beautiful. But I wasn't actually like, you know, it improved my life, but then it was like, I had all the same problems and I had other forms of stress, you know. It's like, you still have neighbors you have to deal with, you still have other stuff going on, but in that moment before you have it, you just have this idea that when I get this new thing, it's going to change everything's going to be perfect. And I feel like that's what you are to this person, that they just have this dream of like walking with you out in public and everyone turning and staring. So again, you might not perceive yourself as being attractive, but from what I'm hearing from them, you are very attractive. And you guys might know that you are the type that like turns heads, that you are the type that people, when you dress up, and what I'm hearing is when you dress up and when you put on makeup or whatever, if you're a guy, when you style your hair and like, you know, get dressed up to the nines, it's like people's heads turn and people are looking and like, who is that? Oh, wow. Oh my God. Like that person looks really good, you know? And maybe like some people are checking you out and like their partner's like, you know, nudging them or like jabbing them with their elbow and being like, hey, stop staring, you know, like, so that's how this person sees you, at least, is like, if you were to be on their arm, everyone would be like turning like, oh, wow. And then it's like, oh, well, she's with him, huh? He must really be bringing something to the table, you know? And so they dream about that kind of clout that they could get from dating you. Like, wow, this would really change so much for me. My friends would think this. You know how there's situations where someone like hides someone from their Instagram and they're dating for like 3 years, but they never post a photo of the other person? And people, and like that will create a problem, and sooner or later the partner will be like, why aren't you posting any photos of me on Facebook or Instagram? And it's super shady usually when someone's doing that. That's like the opposite. I feel like this person would be posting photos of you from like day one. As soon as you guys like hung out, even if it wasn't a date, they'd be like, oh, let's just take a casual photo together just to show that we went to the movie. Like they'll find any excuse to be pictured with you because they just see like everyone. I feel like it's almost like revenge on their old friends and stuff of like see what I've got going on now. See, like I must be pretty great if I got this person. And so there's that whole like added incentive for them to get with you. Like they are super attracted to you, and again, they perceive you as being incredibly physically and sexually attractive. But then there's also the like thing of like, not only are they attractive to me, but they're attractive to everyone else, and everyone is going to think that I have a lot going on if I'm with them. So we got goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual gain growth. So I feel like, again, when I'm seeing goldfish, you know what I'm seeing? This is so funny. I'm seeing the image of that goldfish from Pinocchio. You guys should Google it. Maybe I'll try to actually remember to, I think I can write it down. I'm gonna try to. You guys should try to Google that image though, in case I don't write it down or link it, because it's like the most glamorous looking goldfish, and she has these huge lips, and she looks like a sex symbol. She looks kind of like Marilyn Monroe. And so that's like what you guys, that's what I'm seeing. I think it's from Pinocchio, but it's from some like old Disney movie. And it's just like super beautiful. And I feel like that's how they perceive you. You might be someone who's into makeup and nails and hair and like makes yourself really look good, or you're just very naturally beautiful and like the kind of person that could just go outside with no makeup and like an old t-shirt and everyone's still like, wow. But anyway, you get a lot of attention for how you guys go. And I feel like many of you do put effort into your appearance, and you do dress in like fashionable clothing and wear like really nice, makeup, and do your hair really well, and like you look good, your body is like banging, and that's just how they perceive you. So again, it's like if you could be with them, they just see you as just like a perfect 10 kind of crown. So again, it's like a queenie energy, royal energy, like a Leo type energy. Many of you guys might be Leos. I'm getting a definite Leo vibe for you guys. So we got heart, love, deep affection and caring. Diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. And mule. So for this, I feel like, yeah, this person also dreams of being able to financially like financially provide for you like really nice stuff like diamonds and like jewelry and stuff, and they dream about like financially giving you everything you want, because I feel like you guys would like that. I feel like you guys, a lot of you like nice things, you like things to be done well, and that would like gratify you, or that's how this person perceives you at least. But they dream of like being able to give you some of the financial stuff, and they see you as just like this, just kind of like a diamond in the rough, like you're just stand out above the crowd as very unique. And as if people were together, if you were with this person, I keep getting this, I didn't say it at first, but it keeps coming up. They kind of like the idea of people seeing you as a gold digger. I know it's so bizarre, but it's like I said, whenever you see like a really beautiful person online, like whenever you see online photos of like a really beautiful, like say young actress, and she's dating a guy that's like, he's okay, or he's not that attractive, all the comments are like, oh, well, she's a gold digger. Or again, the stuff about Pete Davidson of like, he has BDE, BDE, I don't want to say it because I'm trying to keep things PG, so I'm trying not to say any bad words, but, So people always speculate, well, like, why on earth is she with him? It must be for the money, or it must be for the sex, or whatever. And this person would love to be the center of that conversation. They would love to have everyone speculating that, you know, you are with them for the cash, or you're with them for how they are in bed. Like, they would love to be, you know, having people have those conversations. They wouldn't be offended at all by someone being like, oh, well, she doesn't really like you. She's just with you for the money. They'd be like, yeah, I know, because she's a 10. You know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny energy. I've never picked up on that before, but that's what this person likes about you, is that you just seem like you could date anyone you wanted, and they see you as having the option to be with, like, you know, a millionaire, or just someone who has everything financially. And so it's like that makes you into an interesting kind of challenge for them, and they really appreciate that. So what are pile three's person's fantasies about them? What are pile three's person's fantasies about them? So we got leg, stepping into a new experience. We also got scale, keep your life in balance. I feel like they're very attracted to your physicality. You might be into fitness or keeping yourself in shape, but this person is very attracted to your legs, first of all, but also like your overall physical structure. I feel like you're someone who many of you put effort into your appearance. Maybe you like work out a lot or something, or you're just naturally kind of have a very sexy shape is how they perceive it, but they really are attracted to you. And I feel like your legs, like, you guys might have really cute, really good legs like that. I'm seeing like a little bit of muscle on the legs, so you guys might be into fitness somehow, or you just naturally have kind of long, lean legs. But that's what they are very attracted to, your body and the shape of your body. I feel like they want to show it off. They would love for you to go out in like a really tight outfit, like a workout outfit, you know, or something, like those leggings with like the crop top kind of vibe, or like a very form-fitting dress. They just are very attracted to your physical structure of your body, especially. They think it's like, I'm hearing that Megan Thee Stallion song, body yaddy 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 yaddy. Like, that's what's coming to mind. They just think you have a body on point, that it's just really beautiful. So what are pile three's person's fantasies? So we got bull. I just feel like this person, we got unicorn, bull, wheel, vase. They do see you as just like a real item of beauty. Like, I don't mean to say item, but it's like almost like a trophy wife. That's how they see you, like vase, like trophy vase. Like, they just see you as like you know how like a really beautiful vase is like crafted, like, and it has that distinctive shape. And you guys might have like an hourglass figure or something, or like curves in all the right places kind of a vibe. That's how they see you. They're very attracted to your physicality, and they feel like you were like carved out of marble, like everything perfect, everything looks how it should, everything's exactly what they are attracted to. And unicorn, like so unique and like not like the rest. Like, again, in their mind, if they were to go out with you, everyone would be staring at you guys, because everyone would think you're so beautiful. You might be like, no, I go out and no one really stares, but that's how they see you. That's how they imagine you. You might even have more people looking at you than you realize, but they like take stock of it, because guys notice different stuff than girls notice, or vice versa. So it's like, you know, a lot of times I'll notice that, like, I had an ex that girls would flirt with him, and he was like so clueless, and he wouldn't notice, and he would just kind of be like, oh yeah, oh Megan, like give her a hug. And I was like, I mean, I know the way Megan's looking at you, and I know she's not giving you just a friend hug, like, you know. And then I'd see the look she gave me when he introduced me as like, oh, and this is my girlfriend. I knew the look she was giving me, and I was like, I'm not like a jealous person, so it's rare for me to kind of feel like, hey, step away from my man. But I was getting into that vibe, because I was like, I know the look you're giving him, and girl, no. And so the thing is that like girls pick up on different things than guys he truly was clueless, and he would think that the girl was just like BFFs, was just like trying to talk to him in a casual way. And I was like, no, like I am definitely not jealous, I'm in general, but like, she is not holding onto your hug for an extra 5 seconds because she's like a really good pal of you. You know what I mean? And so girls, I think, pick up on different stuff than guys do, and vice versa. And he would also notice other things about me, like he's not your friend, he's trying to get with you. So I just feel like a lot of times when you are, like, you might not notice the level that someone is checking you out, but someone of the same sex kind of knows how other people in that gender operate. You know what I mean? They know the kind of looks that someone gives when they're interested, and they're kind of different, you know, body language. So you can tell more if you're like, oh yeah, it's another girl, versus like a guy if you're a girl. You know what I mean? And vice versa. If you're a guy, you kind of know how guys operate, and you might know that that guy asking to help you with your homework is not actually, you know, just loving to help with homework, not like charity case. He's got other intentions. So I think this person perceives you as having a lot of admirers and having a lot of people who are interested in you, and like they like that. It excites them. They like the fact that if they got with you, it would be like they won the prize. What are pile three's person's fantasies about them? Okay, magic stream. One of these fell. Commitment. Yes, this person wants commitment with you. Now, that's what I was saying, is they really dream about the commitment. We also got spark. They dream about the commitment with you. They dream about people being like, oh no, they're together. Like, no, she's not single anymore. She's with him, you know, or he's with her. Like they dream about, and we got Wizard of Awareness. This person really feels like you've also helped them level up and change their life. I'm also hearing that Change Your Life song by Iggy Azalea. So it's like have you guys haven't heard that song? I'll try to write that down too. I didn't even have a piece of paper, so excuse the fact I grabbed like an old crinkled piece of paper that for some reason was next to my desk. I don't usually keep that near my desk, but so excuse the noise. But anyway, like that song is such a good metaphor for how this person feels about you. Like, I feel like in the song she says, once you go good, great, you never go good, you never go back, even if you could. And so it's like, that's how this person feels with you. Like, she's kind of stunting in that song and being like, I have so much going on. My life is so great. I'm so hot, so sexy. I have the best clothes. I have the best monetary situation. So if you got with me, you would never want to go back to the kind of girls you were with before. And that's how this person views you, as just like everything's on point. Everything's amazing, from the hair to the makeup to the nails to the face to the body to the everything. Body yada 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 yada. Like, this person just sees you as just having everything lined up. And so if they got with you, it would level them up, and especially in other people's minds. I feel like they are already making changes to themselves. Like, they might imagine you, see you, visualize you when they're working out, because it's like, I'm gonna get ripped and shredded so that this person pays attention to me, or I'm gonna get my financial situation in order so that they really like me, or I'm going to style my hair and get like the right smelling cologne and put gel in my hair, and, you know, or the right perfume. Sorry if it's too gendered, but just swap everything around as needed. But because when I'm channeling, it's just coming through really fast. Or the right clothes, like the right, you know, suit, perfect, everything. Like, they want everything on point so that you guys can like match up, and it's making them level up. It's making them make changes to their life so that you will pay more attention to them. And they're actually grateful for that, and they're acknowledging it as like, oh, that's helped a lot. But they won't feel like it's complete until you guys have that public commitment, until everyone sees you together on their Instagram or on your Instagram. You might have like a public Instagram or something, but there's something where they want to be posted on your social media. Let me get some astro dice for what are pile three's fantasies about pile three. What are pile three's person's fantasies? I don't know if I should redo that, because I said, what are their fantasies? I actually am going to redo it. What are pile three's person's fantasies about pile three? Pile three's person's fantasies about pile three. Okay, so we got Sagittarius, we got Venus, and we got the third house. Actually, that's funny because I respun, but I checked a couple of the things before and I kept track of them. It was second house, which is ruled by Taurus, which is Venus, and then it was Mercury, which is the third house, And so we basically got the same stuff. But anyway, this is, where was 3? This person, Venus is all about beauty. Venus in the second house, Taurus, is all about beauty. I'll do, since that's like exactly the same, I'm gonna read both. But this person, it's all they see you as being beautiful. So Taurus is about luxury, beauty, the best of the best, everything on point, everything correct, everything done right. Not the, hey, do you want some of this Kraft macaroni and cheese, but like the best macaroni and cheese from like the restaurant in town that's like ooey and made with real cream and expensive cheese from like Ireland, from like grass-fed cows, you know what I mean? Like just everything on point, like the best taste made by a chef. And so that's how they perceive you, as having everything lined up in your life as being like really perfect and really amazing, and just everything beautiful, everything done right. Third house is about communication, and that's also something that's coming in, is that they have a real desire to talk to you. I feel like they might, when they try to talk to you, they would try to be smooth. They kind of recognize also, I think, that they need to be the one to reach out to you, and they're okay with that. That makes them feel like they I don't think that they're necessarily afraid to talk to you. I feel like they'll try to be really smooth with you, try to kind of sweet talk you. They're trying to level up to get with you, and they don't mind trying to get the challenge to get there. And then that reminds me of, I think it had been on Capricorn, and then I respun, and now it's on Sag, so I'll do for both, but it's getting me a Capricorn vibe of like, they don't mind rising to the occasion and having to learn those tough lessons, because again, they see you as making them level up in a positive way, as like, I'm gonna change your bum life. Or when Iggy Azalea says, once you go great, you never go good. Like, it's like they want to get there. They want to level up. They're willing to put in the work. They know that in order to talk to you, or in order to be with you, they're gonna have to like lay on the charm, and they're okay with that. And they want to reach out to you, and they're willing to make that. I feel like right now they're working on improving themselves, so they might not reach out to you right away, or you guys might not be in contact, but when they finish it, they'll be like talking to you, because they want to. They're acknowledging this communication aspect. They want to get their communication lined up and on point, so that when they talk to you, they'll be smooth and not awkward, and you'll be like bowled over by their charm. Because again, they feel like they're gonna have to be really charming, and they're gonna have to bring a lot to the table, because they feel like physically you're just on such a high level that they could never measure up. So they're gonna have to bring other stuff, and they're trying to work on their charm and like social skills, so that you'll be like, oh, like, maybe like he's not as cute, but like he's really funny, he's really charming, kind of a thing. And they like that. Like, that makes them feel good. They're not that wouldn't make them feel bad that you're like better than them. They like that. They kind of want a girl who's like a little out of their league. It excites them, and you fit the bill big time in their mind. And then Sag is all about fun. Sag is all about kind of like travel, learning, and yeah, just fun, partying and stuff. And I feel like you have made them learn a lot. It's like also about philosophy and education, and you've taught them a lot. And I also think they dream about this public kind of social situation where everyone would be talking about like you guys being together. And so I feel like there's this, again, party aspect, or they imagine like coming into a party with you on their arm, and everyone being like, oh my god, you guys are together, like, oh, I didn't know you guys were together. They want this public acknowledgement, and they dream about how that would look, and the look on like other people's faces when they saw you together. They'll like other people seeing you guys on Instagram together, and other people being like, oh yeah, they're together now. And so there's just this real desire for everyone to see you guys next to each other. And yeah, they just see you as really like a prize and like a trophy wife kind of, or a trophy husband. That being with you would really change a lot of things for them in like a positive way. And I feel like it just fuels them. So again, I do think this person has every intention to reach out to you, but they're working on themselves, and they're taking the time to work on themselves right now. They don't expect you to reach out to them. They know that they're going to have to be the ones to kind of talk to you, and they're okay about that. They're kind of scheming on it a little bit, like, okay, I'm going to slide in like this. Or they might also be in active contact with you, in which case, like, it doesn't surprise me, because there is this communication aspect coming through heavy, but it's a general reading, so it's going to depend on the person, how it manifests. But like, communication is a big thing here, and they want to be talking to you. They want to be in communication communication with you, and that's something I think that they're not like afraid of. They want to make it so that you guys are interacting, you guys are in contact, you guys are having this back and forth. So either that might be what's going on now, or it might be going on in the future, but that's something they would like to actively see happen. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope it helped a lot. You know, if you guys want to see an 18+ reading, please let me know, because I definitely was thinking of doing like more of like a sexual fantasy reading, but then this is also supposed to be kind of safe for everyone, safe for work, and safe for, you know, if like a younger person stumbled across it, that there would be nothing too scandalous. But if that's something you guys would like to see, please let me know. Also, if you have any other reading ideas, because I definitely source from the comments, and I want to help you guys in whatever way you want to know. So, you know, let me know if there's something on your mind, and I will definitely work to answer those questions. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I post every few days, so if you would like to see more, make sure you're subbed. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Have an awesome day. Sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey Pal 3, so if you guys picked this beautiful carnelian crystal, this is going to be your reading. Carnelian is a great stone for courage, for success, for kind of grounding and making your dreams a reality. So it's a great energy to be having for this reading, and let's get into it. Let's find out what your person's fantasies are. So what is Pal 4's person's fantasies for them? What kind of fantasies does Pal 4's person have towards them? Okay, so we got the 9 of Swords. Okay. We got the Magician. We got the 7 of Wands. We got Judgment. What kind of fantasies? Fantasies. Actually, I'm going to take one at a time. What kind of fantasies does Pal 4's person? What fantasies? Please, Spirit, what fantasies does Pal 4's person have about them? I mean, honestly, what I'm getting right now is just that they're really sad, regretting things. They're upset with how things went. So it's like not really a fantasy, but you know, this is what Spirit is telling me. Fantasies. Does Pal 4's person have any fantasies about them? Fantasies. Fantasies, not sadness. Fantasies. Come on. Come on. We got some fantasies. Okay, Ace of Wands and the Death card. You know, they're just really being very, they're, you know, they talk about what they want to talk about, Spirit does, and so I have to go with, you know, what they're telling me, but we'll try to see what else comes up in the reading. So far, what we're getting is just this real sense of loss that they have towards you. I feel like they were imagining you guys being together. They had imagined like this happy ending, and now they're really regretting things. I feel like there's also this regret coming through about how they handled it on their end. It's almost like they're stepping forward to apologize. Like, a lot of times people are when they're in this sad energy, they're very defiant, or they'll blame someone else of like, well, like, it, you know, they're sad and they don't want to process it, so they'll direct it towards the other person of like, someone did me wrong. But in this case, I'm actually feeling like this person's apologetic. Like they feel like they messed up. I feel like they were being sneaky is what they're telling me. They were doing something sneaky, and they really regret that. And so, you know, there's a lot of energy of just like, of just wishing that you would like come back together with them, I guess. Wishing that you guys could somehow end up together. I feel like they're feeling like whatever they lied about or whatever they did that was tricky or dishonest, it wasn't what they're telling me is it wasn't worth it, and now they really regret what they did. They feel like they lost a lot by however they acted towards you. So yeah, there's a lot of regret coming through. It's like they're on a new journey and they don't like it. You know, whatever happened with you, they feel like now they've been forced to go on this new path and they're not happy about it at all. They're very much feeling like almost like they're heading in the wrong direction. Being separated from you is a difficult thing for them, and it's almost like you might have tried to block them mentally and psychically. Like you might be trying to end the connection or not be as willing to engage with them. Like you might be kind of like done with this, but you were like, well, let me check in because you know the reading popped up and you're like, well, I have nothing else to do, kind of a thing. But they can kind of tell that you're like a little bit done with them, and it's really upsetting to them. It's kind of driving them crazy a little bit. So we got the Eight of Cups right under the Eight of Cups. We also got the Six of Pentacles. What fantasies does Pile 4's person have towards them? So we also got the Nine of Swords again. So yeah, this person is very sad and they're regretting things. You know, got the Fool again. They feel like they were also like a fool. Like that's coming to mind. Like even though the Fool has other meanings, they really feel like they were a fool towards you. How does Pile 4's person see them? What are their fantasies? So I'm getting a vibe of like they kind of want to like worship you a little bit. Like they see you as, I don't know. I feel like, first of all, I do feel like this person, there was like a third party, or this person was looking at other people or was flirting with someone else or was disloyal somehow. Like there's this aspect, it could have definitely been cheating if you guys were in a relationship, or if you guys weren't. I feel like there was something that created conflict that involved someone else, like especially on their end. So it could have been if they're a guy, they were talking to other girls, or if they're a girl, they were talking to other guys. But there was some aspect of them like maintaining or entertaining someone else, and now they really regret that. And I'm hearing that the other person could never compare to you, and you guys had like a mental connection, a spiritual connection, and so this person is really regretting it. It's almost like they just dream about sitting and talking with you. They'll take you in whatever way you'll have them, but they're willing to like also like worship you. They see you as like amazing and almost like a queen-like energy, and so the fact that you guys aren't together really bothers them. You know, it really upsets them. This person, I feel like this person can be kind of sensitive. They might have some Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer in their chart. But it's like you guys had this mental connection. You guys had this psychic connection going between the two of you. And so now this person feels like that's been kind of blocked. So you might be making active steps to end the energetic connection you guys had, or just feeling like you're ready to move on. Like it might be that you used to watch all these relationship videos all the time, and now you're kind of like, and they pop up, and maybe once in a while you'll watch one, but it's not like you're like, I gotta know anymore. It's almost like you watch it out of habit, but you're not like desperate to know how they're feeling about you anymore. And so maybe once in a while you'll be like, well, sure, I'll do an energy check-in, but it's not weighing on your mind. You're not craving this person in the way you were, and this person senses it. They are psychic and they can tell, and that's really bothering them. They don't want that to happen. They're saying like, no, I reject that. It's like, you know, I'm getting like an image of something, or like a scene in my mind of someone being like, you're fired, and the other person being like, no, I'm not fired. And it's like, but I just fired you. And it's like, no, I refuse to leave. I'm still working here. I'll see you Monday. I don't know if that's from a movie or something, but that's some scene like that just popped up in my head. So I feel like it's like you're trying to end the connection a bit, and they're like, no, 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 nope, not gonna happen, sorry. And so they're trying to manifest you. It might be you're trying to close the connection, and they're like keeping it open on their end, doing even like metaphysical stuff to try to connect with you. You know, you can actively try to connect with someone, and there's stuff you can do, and I feel like this person is doing that. If there was deception between the two of you, they really regret it, and they've really taken stock of it, and like really their fantasies about you are like coming back together with you and just being able to be with you. It's almost like they don't even have the room. They're butting in and taking over this reading, and instead of letting it be about fantasy, they're just like, I'm so sorry, tell them I'm sorry, tell them I didn't mean it, please answer my call. Like, that's kind of what they're telling me, and I'm like, it's a fantasy reading, I need to know your fantasies. But they're like, no, we have more important stuff to talk about. So let me try to get more cards. What is powerful as fantasy is what they want to know. Yeah, so they're very worshipful towards you. We got the world reversed. I mean, they see you as like the center of their universe. I'm getting this worshipful energy. Like, I feel like they, you know, this is not an X-rated reading, so I don't want it to become like NC-17. If you would like to see an 18 plus reading, drop it in the comments, because it's something I'm considering, but I would want to, you know, make sure that's something you guys want. I always rely on your feedback and your reading requests, so if that's something you want to see, let me know. But I'm trying to keep it a little PG. However, I will say this person is very, how do I describe this in a PG way? It's really hard. This person wants to make you feel really good. And so, you know, they don't mind having it be just you getting pleasure, and them kind of watching you get pleasure would be a lot for them, would be very gratifying for them, if that makes sense. I feel like they don't mind putting their money where their mouth is, if you get what I'm trying to dance around it. But, you know, their mouth, they don't mind using that, and, you know, you would, you know, be the one who gets to feel really good. And, you know, maybe they're really good with their tongue. I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but yeah. So this person, I feel like I feel like this person definitely dreams about giving you like oral sex. And again, I'm trying not to make it R-rated, but since this is a reading where they wouldn't tell me their fantasies at first, and they just kept being very talking about how sad they are, it's like I think I forced it out of them, and I'm gonna give you guys a little more detail than I gave the other ones, just because this is the only like, it's like they wouldn't tell me more at first, so I'm kind of gonna make up for it. I feel like they definitely dream about giving you oral sex and seeing you like lost in your own pleasure, like seeing you in that moment of kind of orgasm or whatever. That would be everything to them, and that's something they imagine. They just feel like you have also like a beautiful body, soul, everything. It's not just that they're attracted to your body, but seeing your body kind of like, you know, naked would be very gratifying for them, more so than like, you obviously when you're attracted to anyone, you kind of want to see them naked, but for them it's on a whole new level. You know, it's like a different kind of craving. It's like sometimes you're like, you know, I'm craving something, you know, I could really go for some chips, you know what I mean? And then like that time of the month, at least if you're me, runs around, and I'm like, if I don't get a bag of chips, I'm gonna kill someone. Like the craving becomes a million times more. So I feel like even though obviously like everyone wants to see their partner naked, this is like a different thing for them, where it's like they're very reverent about your body. It's like I'm hearing that John Mayer song. I really don't like him, but I'm hearing his song Your Body is a Wonderland. You know, that's kind of how they see it, as like, oh my God, they feel very like almost worshipful towards your body. I think this is why at first they weren't even coming towards you with fantasies. It's because, again, they're so apologetic that it's almost like they feel like they can't tell you your fantasies. It's like, you know, it's almost like I'm seeing, not to be gross and bring in like a little kid, but I'm seeing a little kid who like did something wrong, you know, and is like being punished and being put in like a corner. And in that moment, you know, if someone was like, so what kind of ice cream do you want? the kid would probably be like, none. I don't want ice cream, because they're at that point just focused on like not getting in trouble and getting out of, the situation of being in trouble. And so this person is like, I mean, I don't really want to talk about my fantasies right now, because they are so regretting something they did, and how they behaved. They're really feeling a little bit ashamed, and so it's like, I kind of beat it out of them, and they're eventually willing to say their fantasies, but it's really not on the forefront of their mind. I feel like they're in a very almost panicked situation right now. They can sense you pulling away from them and kind of energetically leaving a little bit, and they are scrambling to try to pull you back in. I feel like they're actively trying to reach out and speak to you on the astral realm. They're actively might be trying to kind of conjure you. I wouldn't be surprised if this person is involved in metaphysical stuff or aware of metaphysical stuff, like The Secret or Manifestation or other things regarding that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they were using some of those things to try to get in touch with you. Or maybe they're not doing it consciously, but it's like they have a playlist that's like your name, and they play that like every night before they go to sleep and think about you. And so it's like you're getting, like, they are trying, even if they don't realize this consciously it's what they're doing, they are actively trying and making steps to connect with you on the energetic realm and to pull you kind of back to them. But they can feel you moving away. They can feel this connection kind of getting harder and harder to grasp onto. And so this is really distressing. I'm hearing like, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it. They're not like, well, I guess it's time to move on. It's run its course, and this person wants to move on, and I have to respect that. No, that's not their attitude. They're saying the opposite. They're like, oh hell no, you're not going anywhere. They are like, I'm gonna pull this person back whether they like it or not. So they are not okay with you leaving, and I feel like if they're not brave enough to actually reach out to you, they are trying to do it on the astral realm. They're still trying to connect with you. I feel like there was, again, like, I feel like this person acted stupid, and I'm getting a vibe of there was some other person involved. So maybe they flirted with someone else, or they just were, I don't know, someone else. I feel like there was some situation where there was like others involved, and they were, maybe not faithful or just disloyal or something. I don't know for sure. Obviously it's a general reading, so it's going to depend on the person, but and it's going to be different for everyone. But there's this energy of disloyalty, a little bit of deception and lies, and also someone else entering the scene, like some other person who was hanging around. And I obviously don't know who this is. However, I just feel like they're saying like, I made such a mistake. They've realized now that it was a huge mistake, and they really regret it. They're not like, well, oh well, I lost that person, but I gained someone else. They're like, no, I realize now what a fool I was. And I'm hearing that Tegan and Sarah song, I Was a Fool, but and we got 2 of the Fool cards. Like, that's just something this person is saying really loudly, is like that they were foolish and they really, really, really regret it. So yeah, I'm hearing I Was a Fool by Tegan and Sarah. They just really are starting to kind of beat themselves up a little bit about their choices. And I feel like it's a bit of a dark kind of situation for them. Like they really kind of can't believe that they like made the choices that they made, and looking back it's just like, oh my god, how could I have been so stupid, how could I have been so dumb? And there's just a ton of regret coming through. They want to be, having this psychic connection to you meant a lot to them. It really did. It meant a lot. It helped them in so many ways. And so it's like, when that happens, they feel like you also brought a lot to their life. And I don't know if they appreciated it at the time, but they're acknowledging that you did a lot for them, and it meant a lot for them they also feel like they've put a lot of work into this relationship. And so I almost feel like there's this attitude or atmosphere of self-sabotage in this situation where like they worked a lot on this. I feel like in a way you were like hard to win over. Like at first maybe you weren't like, yeah, let's date the first time they asked you out, or when you guys it might have been a situationship, but like there was something where they had to win you over, or there was something where they had to kind of prove themselves, or that's how they felt. And so they really feel like they blew it. It's like it doesn't make their behavior doesn't make sense because they worked so hard on this connection and they felt so drawn to you, and then they did something stupid and kind of shady, or they weren't honest with them. They weren't honest about something. There's some aspect of dishonesty, and I feel like now you are pulling away a little bit and kind of like done with this, and it's just this like panic and kind of, let me try to salvage this situation. So let me get more insight into their actual fantasies. What is pile four's fantasies? What is pile four's person fantasy about them? What is pile four's fantasy? Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Hat, you will be playing a different role. Chain of events that will affect your life. I'm hearing I want you now. And this person they just want to be with you. That's it. They just want to be with you. Funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I'm also hearing I need you now. So I feel like this person, it's almost like a frantic energy. It's like a desperation. It's like they need you. I keep hearing they need you, they want you. It's like a desperate person, the energy they have is like someone who's just almost frantic. It's kind of a lot to tune into. Like I'm seeing someone, who's like ordering something from a store and they're like, we don't have it, or we sold out, and the person's just freaking out, and they're like, you have to have it, you have to get it in, I need it now. Like, and that's kind of how this person is. It's like, whoa, like calm down, but this is what's going on. It doesn't even need to go into like fantasy specifics, because it's like they'll take you any way they can have you. They just want to be with you. You wouldn't even have to be doing anything like to get them sexually excited. Like they don't care if you wanted to do it in the craziest way ever. They'd be like, sure, sign me up. Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? Like they will take you any way they can get you. And so it's like, even to ask them to be as specific, it's like if someone's like starving for food and they haven't eaten in like 2 weeks, and you bring them a menu, from like a fancy restaurant, and you were like, and so how exactly did you want your steak done? And did you want a peppercorn sauce, or did you want a béarnaise sauce, or did you want like a pepper sauce, or what kind of sauce exactly? And what kind of, the person's gonna be like, just get me food, I don't care, I'll take any of it, I literally will take anything you have, I don't care if it's the best steak, I don't care if it's a can of tuna fish, I'm starving and I need food. That's how this person feels towards you. It's like, when I'm like, what kind of fantasies? They're like, what are you even talking about? I literally want this person so much that I will take whatever. I mean, it doesn't even matter to me, Apple, temptation will test you. So I do feel like this person was tested somehow and they failed. And now, again, this is what's giving this frantic energy, is because they're like, oh my God, I made such a huge mistake. Dagger, fear, worries, tense situations. This person knows they messed up and they are really regretting it. Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. And Cup, you should accept valid criticism. I think this person is accepting that what they did was wrong. They know they messed up, and now it's just a matter of trying to fix things, but they don't know if they can, and they really feel like they can't. Also, Rabbit, there's too much sexual energy. Like they had a lot of sexual energy and they misdirected it. And I feel like that's why they almost don't want to talk about their sexual fantasies towards you. It's because they don't want you to think of them as just a sexual person. They want you to know that their feelings towards you go a lot deeper from that. They go so much deeper. And as I'm saying that, we got vine. And how I see that is it's like a vine growing deep into the ground, even though that's not exactly what it is. Like that's how it looks towards me. Like, a plant that just goes down super deep into the roots are going down deep. And that's how this person's feelings towards you are. Like, yes, they are very sexually attracted to you, but it's more than that. Is what they're telling me is you guys have a deep connection that's like a soulmate connection. You might not be feeling this way because I do feel like you're trying to pull away from them, but that's what they're telling me. They're like, we're soulmates. Like, no, this person can't leave me. Fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. They have a lot of passion towards you. It's very deep. Another thing that comes up with Rabbit is also that this person might have fantasies about you and your sexuality. Again, keep getting the vibe that they are very turned on by your pleasure alone. It's like you don't need to be doing anything to them because they imagine you like having an orgasm or just you having pleasure yourself. So it's like they might imagine you using a vibrator. Again, I'm trying not to make this 18 plus, but it probably is at this point. But that's a fantasy for them. Your pleasure, you receiving pleasure from them is a huge fantasy, although also you receiving pleasure on your own. Definitely not with another person, but you receiving pleasure on your own is something they imagine and think about. But they would love to be there and be a part of it, but it's like they imagine you in that moment of having your pleasure, not necessarily an equal situation where both sides are getting off. It's more along the lines of they just want to make you feel good, and that would be enough for them. So that's kind of nice. At least they're generous. And yeah, you have Box. So again, their feelings towards you are very sexual. I just feel like sometimes they hide it because, again, they're worried about you thinking of them as just sexual. I feel like this person had maybe sexual temptation, or this third party situation was involving sexuality. Maybe it was just as simple as like them looking up Instagram models or following Instagram models or something, or them having, an actual affair or sex with someone else, or just flirting with someone else. Obviously, this is a general reading, so some people are going to be in a full-blown relationship. Some people are going to be in a situationship. Some people, it never got off the ground and there was a deep connection, but it never turned into an actual, full, we're together relationship. But this person was involved somehow with someone else, and there was an aspect of lying. And so I feel like they very strongly are afraid of you thinking that they are just about sex, or maybe that their intentions towards you were just sex. Maybe that was the thing that I said at first. I feel like they had to kind of break down your walls, and maybe it was because you judged them as like, oh, they're just a player, or they're just an F-boy, or that kind of a vibe. And it was like they had to kind of prove themselves. And now they are like, they worry about you thinking about their intentions just being sexual. So what I can tell you is their intentions are very sexual. They're very attracted towards you, very attracted, and that's coming up a lot. However, their feelings for you go a lot deeper than that. You're definitely like the only woman on their mind, or only man on their mind. They are very much like long-term, all the way in with you. I just feel like they are a little immature, I think. They did make that mistake. And I feel like they feel like what they're telling me kind of is like it's unfair. They feel like you judged them a little unfairly, or you were too strict on them or something. Like, they feel like, yes, they've made mistakes, but you're judging them too harshly. They're not as imperfect as you think they are. So I don't know what this means. I'm just saying it back. I have to repeat what they're telling me, but don't take it as I'm endorsing it, or I'm saying I'm taking sides. But this is what their perspective is they feel like you were too harsh. They didn't mess up as bad as you're making it out to be. In their mind, it's like you should know that you're the only person for them, and you've taken it too much to heart. And you've they're telling me not to be harsh, but it's almost like you're stupid if you think that anyone else could come anywhere close to you. No one could come close to you, and there's no need for you to be insecure or even think about them going after anyone else because no one will ever compare. And they're also telling me they want you to give this relationship a chance. They feel like this relationship is overlooked by the divine. Like this relationship that you guys have, this connection that you guys have is a divine relationship, and that you guys are supposed to end up together in the end. But you have to give it a chance. They feel like you're blocking it and you're not open to it in the way that they are. That you are closed off, and they are telling me they would have given you the world if you had just given them the chance, and that you know they were kind of stupid and they did stupid things, but they didn't do anything as bad as you seem to be making it out, or you seem to think it is. And so you just need to like give them a chance, and then they'll prove to you everything they can be. That's what they're telling me. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know what to say. It's hard to know if they're telling the truth or this is just their perspective. But there's this aspect of, again, they're coming through really frantic. If I'm talking super fast, it's because they're talking to me really fast. Their intentions towards you, at the very minimum, are very serious, very big, very strong intentions. The thing is, I just don't know whether I feel like this person is very impetuous. I feel like their energy is very like, almost like ADHD, or someone who's like always like a mile a minute, very emotional. And so it's like, it's hard to know if they will have that self-control in the long term. Because I do feel like this person almost has like a young energy, and it's like they need to maybe mature a little bit and like chill a little bit, you know, because I feel like also it's a lot of energy towards you. Like I almost wonder if you guys might be feeling a little exhausted from checking in with this connection, because I do think it's a lot of energy to process. Like I'm just getting bombarded by their energy. It's just like pouring into me, like boom, 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 one after the other message, because I just feel like again, their energy is very frantic. They are very consumed by you. They think about you all the time. And so it's like, I think that for you on your end, it's a lot to absorb, because I think you are psychic, but you're also like a gentle energy. And I think sometimes it can be a little overwhelming how much this person likes you, but they are genuine, even though if for some of them they might have cheated, and I'm not endorsing cheating or trying to justify it. These are general readings, and I'm just kind of recounting the energy going on. But, you know, I just feel like this person, you know, they are very apologetic. They do feel like if they feel like if they could get a second chance for you, they did learn their lesson. And it's like, now they know that no one else could compare. You know, now they have been faced with the loss of you. It's like, oh wow. And it clarified everything in their mind. I think like there is some still immaturity and growing here that needs to happen, but they've already grown a lot from this. And they just want you back, you know? I'm seeing that like meme or that joke that's like, feel like pure SHIT, just want her back, you know? That's kind of like an online joke, and it's like that's kind of what this person is feeling like. It really does apply here, because this person feels so connected to you. It's just like having you removed from their life is just like, it feels like a punishment or something, you know? It feels like such a loss. Also, this person sees you as like a soulmate. You know, they're very serious about this relationship and about this connection. They don't see you as like, oh yeah, like this was a normal relationship and I really liked this person, but like, oh well, we're not together anymore. It's like, no, this felt so much more to them, like a soulmate, like a deep connection. So the fact that you guys aren't together anymore, it's not something they can just kind of get over and be like, okay, well, that was that, now we're moving on. You know, when you feel like someone is your soulmate, or like your twin flame, you know, those don't just come around, you know, every few relationships or every few months. It's not like you can break up with one soulmate and like, boom, here's another. I mean, I guess you could, like, but that's pretty rare, you know. Soulmates, that would be a very rare, probably divinely orchestrated thing if your guides were like, oh, well, you know, I wanted you to meet too, and we lined it up so you don't have to have any pause between. I mean, I guess that could happen once in a blue moon, but it's definitely rare. And for most of us, those kinds of relationships are, you know, few and far between in life, where we connect so deeply with someone and feel like we've known them forever. And so it's like, I think that's what makes this relationship so hard for them to move on, is not just the sexual attraction, but also just the divine connection, like the psychic connection that you guys had. The fact that this person feels like you guys have this psychic connection means a lot to them. And it means a lot to them that you've kind of cut it off and that they can't access you in that way anymore is like very hard for them, you know? They really enjoy like talking to you on the astral realm. So the fact that you guys aren't together is like, it's just really hard for them, you know? It feels like a huge loss and like a big major out for them. Like they're kind of like, I feel like, again, they're already going to like the worst case scenario of like, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through my life if I can't talk to this person, if I can't have their support, if I can't check in with them? Like it just, you know, it's just overwhelming, and they're kind of panicking now because, again, they definitely feel that you're kind of moving away from them, and they're just not okay with it. They you know, they really feel like no one can compare to you, and I feel like also like they're just not happy with their other options. You know, the idea of moving on to someone else, it's just like, no, like I think that's what this card relates to. Like they're like goblins in comparison to you. They just are like such on a lower level. The fact that you guys have this psychic divine, you know, you guys might have known each other in a past lifetime, but you guys have this psychic connection where you guys kind of check in with each other on the astral realm. That's what this person, like it means so much to them. I feel like they haven't felt as understood until they met you, and you felt like a soft place to land. Like they could see, like they could finally be themselves, they could finally feel known. And so that's why it's so hard for them to move on now, and so hard for them to even handle the idea of you moving on to someone else, is because it's like they really feel like they're never going to find this again with anyone else. And any temptation they may have had towards someone else in the past is gone now, because now they're like, oh, that's an actual reality, you know, that could take place. It's kind of like when you say something but you don't mean it, you're not serious about it. Like you're like, oh, well, you know, I'd rather, instead of going to like that event, I'd rather, you know, do hard labor for 10 hours. And someone comes up and they're like, okay, do you want to do hard labor now? Let's get to work. And it's like, no, I was just joking. I was just saying that. I feel like in a way this person was entertaining thoughts of other people, but it was only because they had never really lost you before, like fully lost you. I feel like, again, they took for granted that you'd always had this psychic connection, and now they're finally facing that you're kind of I feel like you are taking steps to pull yourself out of this psychic connection, maybe to block this connection. And now they're like, oh my God, wait, what am I gonna do? And so there is this like panic setting in of like, I wasn't serious when I was talking to these other girls. Like I didn't really consider it. I didn't think it all the way through. I would never have chosen it if I'd thought it all the way through. They just didn't think it was ever going to seriously end between the two of you, or that you were going to remove your energy. And they're also very concerned and obsessed with the idea of you being with other people. They really are panicked about the idea of you moving on. I feel like that's something they think or fantasize about, but not in a like positive way, like in a very negative way, like a nightmare. You know, they have ideas of you being with other people, and it drives them crazy. If you post anyone else, like especially of the opposite sex, or if you're, I guess, and if this is a same-sex relationship, same sex, but like anyone who could be a romantic rival, this person like stalks their Instagram, stalks their Facebook, would, you know, do a deep dive, look up their LinkedIn, look up everything they could find, because it's like, this is, again, it's a very obsessive, very like frantic energy. And the idea of someone else coming in and having that kind of connection with you drives them insane. I can't even say, like, I'm feeling almost like panic. Literally, I can feel panic coming up in my throat. And it's like, I feel like they can't handle it. This is where I say this person is a little emotionally immature. I think this is where they value the connection so much, is they're an emotional person. And so it's like they have funneled some of those emotions through your connection. They kind of connect to you when they're frantic or upset or nervous or scared. They can kind of connect to you, and you guys can kind of like hold each other's hands on the astral realm. You might do that too. And that can be a very positive thing. But of course, when that's happening all the time, someone's frantic every single day for like years on end, and they're connecting with you each time, it can, drain the other person a little bit. I mean, we want to be giving in our connections and stuff, but there's also that aspect of needing to look after your own energy and make sure that there's not like frequent disruptions. And so I just feel like they kind of connect with you, and you ground them, and you kind of comfort them, and now they don't know what to do if they're not going to be able to do that. Like, thoughts of you kind of soothe them and bring them back down to earth. And so now that that's being like pulled out, it's really difficult for them to even process that. It's really difficult for them to be able to comprehend how their life is going to look. It's almost like nothing is worth it if I can't be with this person. There's also this aspect of, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the reading, them listening to music as a way to channel you. I do think they do that. I would be betting money that they have some kind of like dedicated playlist of songs that remind you of them on like their Spotify or Apple Music, or if they just have, a music library on their phone or on their computer. It's like probably something they pull up and just listen to songs that remind them of you. Like, I feel like they do this actively. It's not an accident where sometimes, you will be like, your spirit guides want to like, or this person's tugging on the connection, and you're not trying to channel this person, but you'll be like driving along, listen to the radio, and a song from them pops up, and that's a lot of times their guides kind of orchestrating that. Or the power of their thoughts kind of channeling and pulling you in. But this is not like an accident. This isn't someone like coming in and putting their phone on shuffle and it pops up. This is someone like going to the playlist. It might even be your name as the title, and then clicking on it and like deliberately listening, and deliberately pressing play, and then like laying back on their bed and imagining you. Might even be where they have sexual thoughts about you, if you know what I'm saying. The Ace of Wands kind of represents that, and so you can imagine what this looks like. Sexual act, like solo. They might be doing that. Like, I feel like they do actively try to channel you. They actively try to connect with your energy. They find your energy really comforting to them, really grounding, and very like calming. And so this is one of the reasons why they're constantly connecting to you in that way. Let me get some astro dice. What are the fantasies pile forest person has for them? What are the fantasies pile forest person has for them? So we got Taurus, we got the first house, and we got the nodes. So that doesn't surprise me. I see that in a lot of destiny soulmate readings, because it is the destiny point of our lives. We see it in the nodes. And so it's also about past lives. And so again, I'm definitely getting a vibe that many of you knew this person in a past life, and this is why the connection is so intense. It's because when you know someone in a past life and you made a pact on the other side to meet up again, a lot of times it's like you guys have a direct line, and the connection gets ramped up to like 1,000,000, because you just have this closeness that's developed from knowing someone for so long. The same way when you have a joke with like a stranger, it's like funny, but it's 1,000,000 times funnier when you have a joke with like your best friend or your sibling. Those emotions, when you have this deep energetic cord connecting you to someone, the emotions get ramped up, the feelings get ramped up. And so that's why this person, even if this connection for you guys, because this is a general reading, so it will apply, differently to different people based on whatever was going on in your relationship. But for those of you who just had a situationship, or this relationship never got off the ground and it just stayed, you guys were talking or flirting, but it never turned into like we're exclusive, monogamous, and kind of a verbal contract. you guys might be like, why do I feel so strongly? Why did they feel so strongly about me? Because you had a past life. And so it's like, it's already 0 to 60. You know, there is no like, oh, there's technically a getting to know it period where you're, you know, still being like, oh, what's your favorite hobby? But it's almost like, you're already past that. Even though you're having those conversations, like deep down your soul knew this person. And so, you know, it doesn't even need to be like we were dating together for 6 years, because you're already, it's more along the lines like we've been dating for 600 years because you guys knew each other for so many past lives. And so, you know, it's just that level of intensity and closeness that you would have with someone you've known much longer. So first house is ruled by Aries, and then we have Taurus. So I definitely get like an Aries vibe here. I almost didn't say the water signs, because even though I'm picking up on water energy, I'm also picking up on a lot of fire energy. So that could be Aries. It could also be Sagittarius. It could also be Leo. And I'm getting kind of all of those, but it's definitely the thing about fire signs is they are very emotional, but they express it differently from water signs, who have kind of more of like a, I don't know how to describe it, calmness, a little bit of depth. It's like they internalize stuff more, whereas fire signs are very much reactive. Like it's got to happen now, and it's not as much like pausing to process. It's more along the lines of like it happens and I instantly react. And I definitely get that vibe here where this person needs to process things a little more maturely and a little slower. It's okay. I love fire signs. I mean, I love the action and like how fast paced they are, and that they don't, you know, they're not slow pokes. They're very quick, and I love them. But in life, you know, we all do need to slow down sometimes and not be so reactive. And I just think this person's emotions, sometimes they kind of burn out of control, almost like a wildfire. And it's like, you know, even if you guys end up not together in this lifetime, I'm sure you'll both be fine, and you'll both have that connection on the other realm, and you'll probably find other soulmates, other partners. So it's not the end of the world, but this person is so obsessed, and their emotions, it's almost like they're eating them alive. And I do think you guys both have a chance that you guys could very well end up together. So this person doesn't need to be reaching level 10 on the panic scale. You know, that made me calm down a little and try to think about it rationally. It's not like you guys are, you know, separated by a continent and it's like the 1600s and you'll never see each other again. It's like it's 2021 this year, or whenever you're watching this, you know, people have the ability to text, to call, to email, to DM. So you guys can probably find a way to get back together eventually. So this person maybe needs to calm a little bit and realize that sometimes people separate and come back together. You never know. But I just feel like they're very panicked and their emotions sometimes get the better of them. And that's definitely kind of a fire sign vibe. It's also like, I feel like Aries is all about the pursuit, and this person has a real desire to pursue you very strongly. Aries is also like they want what they want, and if they either want it or they don't, and they're very cut and dry. And that's how this person is. And also Venus and Aries, not to go on and on, but it's very much like it can be kind of like a player of the zodiac. And I feel like this person maybe started that way, or that's how you perceived them. And that's also why they were open to this other third party, because they were used to behaving that way, not realizing how much deeper your connection was at that time. Maybe knowing it on a deep level, but not enough to override this kind of ingrained behavior. And so I think that's one of the things that got them into trouble. And finally, Taurus rules over love. So again, this is like a deep soulmate love relationship, and I definitely think their feelings for you are very deep, even though I am sensing third party possible infidelity or looking at other girls or guys, something along those lines. Again, it's a general reading, so usually you wouldn't think, oh well, this is like super deep love soulmate thing. But that's still the vibe I get. And, you know, soulmates make mistakes too. Like, hashtag not all soulmates. Like, it's like, you know, just because you're a soulmate doesn't mean you automatically are like the wisest person in the world. It just means you have a soulmate and you made an agreement to meet in this lifetime. But we still need to like evolve. And I just feel like this person definitely, it seems like they made a mistake, or that's how they perceive it in some way. But the love is there. The love is there, and it's very deep. And so it will be interesting to see how this shapes up, because I definitely think this person has no intention of leaving you or leaving this connection behind. They're still set on it. They're still decided they want you and no one else. So, you know, they very well might come come back and find a way to get back into your life. But I think you guys have a psychic connection anyway, and I also sense you're ready to move on and kind of close the doors to this, at least temporarily, which is totally fine, totally your choice, and I'm happy for you if that's the choice you guys are making. It's up to each person how they live their lives and whatever they want to manifest and bring in. So I think there's a lot to be like decided with this, but it's interesting to see, you know, how it will go. So I really hope that helped you guys. I hope it resonated. Please let me know if it did. I'm definitely intrigued by this relationship. It's a very intense one. You know, maybe they should like make a movie out of this, because it's definitely like kind of Romeo and Juliet, or that level of emotion going on here. So I'm definitely very curious. Let me know what's going on with your relationship. And also, if you want to see an 18+ reading so we could get into a little more detail on this, since I had to censor myself, let me know in the comments, or any other readings you want to see. And also make sure to like and subscribe. I post these readings every few days, so if you want to see more, make sure you're subbed. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next reading. Hope you have an amazing day. Sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you next time. Bye.